I'm David Lake.
And I'm Kyle Phillips. Welcome to The Media Speaks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. We are live tonight on election night. I'm your host, D. Lake for Prez. I'm joined by fellow reporter and superstar article writer there, Anthony Court.
Well, thanks very much, D. Lake. I do my best.
That's right, and you've been doing pretty good. You actually had an article linked at Natural News Buzz, right? Or the buzz going on at Natural News was your article about 37 good reasons to vote yes on Prop 37. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that is right, and I'm very glad that they used that, and I actually didn't expect them to post it in their feed, but they do accept news tips, so I figured why not send it to them. It does spread a good message for, Proposition 37. Did you want to explain a little bit more about what Prop 37 is, D. Lake?
Sure. Well, it's a real hot topic right now in California, and people are voting on it here in the state of California. And that article is, in fact, filled with a lot of interesting facts about California. We're the 8th largest economy in the world, and also the #1 producer of fruits and nuts and some other things there, right, Court?
Yeah, that's correct. And there's a lot of controversy actually here in the Central Valley where I live about the amount of water that the government's allowing us to have. It's all because of a certain fish that they want to preserve. It's called the snoutfish. It's going, I guess, on the verge of extinction, and it's about an inch long. But that's a whole nother story. I mean, they are trying to thwart the production here in California, along with implementing GMOs and making them more commonplace. And now is a real pivotal time for this information to come out to people, and
because it's really, the #1 reason, the #1 of the 37 good reasons to vote yes on Prop 37 as opposed to no was because we have a right to know what's in our food, and if it contains any genetically modified organisms, GMOs, sometimes called GE, genetically engineered, and that sounds fancy because that's like General Electric or something. And if you look at the no on 37 campaigns that these biotech giants like Monsanto, Cargill, and others, right, they're spending just a ton of money. Court, I mean, how much money are these biotech giants spending to try to get people to vote no on 37, and why would they want no? What is that?
Well, millions of dollars, and it just makes you think, why? I mean, if it's going to cost these people so much money, and they're spending over $1 million per day to fight this measure to confuse voters on the measure, why? I mean, why are they spending this much money on that when they're saying it's going to cost them so much money just to label it? I mean, if they're so proud of their products, if they want people to accept genetically modified organisms, why not support the labeling of the GMOs? I mean, if they're so
and
they think they're so great,
don't they already label foods and the production of foods as GMO in over 50 countries in the world, but not here in America? Is that right?
Yeah, I believe it's almost over 60 countries. I may have been a little off in the article. I could only go off as much statistics as you can research, but
you're saying 50 was a conservative.
That's a conservative number. I believe there's over 60 countries actually, but
I just looked up for you guys. You were talking about how a lot of these big companies don't want this voted on, and I just looked up a few of them. Bayer, Bumblebee Foods, Coca-Cola, Conger Foods, CropLife, Del Monte Foods, DuPont, General Mills. These are people, Twizzler, Hershey. These are people who don't want you to have GMOs labeled. Hormel chili, tons of these.
And these are all the corporations that you're naming, Kyle, that stand to profit off this. Stand to benefit off this measure because they I mean, fighting the measure alone and spending so much money just shows that they know they'll lose a lot of customers once it's revealed that they're using these products, because these independent tests that happen overseas and here at home have exposed them for what they are. And, this goes along with that whole population control agenda, I mean, just to lower the population. That's why people, like I've said in this article, like Bill Gates, who has, I forget the exact amount of shares, I think over 100,000, 500,000, some number like that,
right,
shares in Monsanto. And he's talking about death panels and how he'd rather save the jobs for 10 horrible teachers than keep grandma alive on the machine. So
yeah, euthanasia of the elderly and old people just need to, if they can just get out of the way, and if we can find other ways to reduce the population by 15 to 20% or more, and all his abortion ideas and genocidal Planned Parenthood ideas, I mean, come on.
And look at the way they set this up. They make it seem like they're doing it to end the war, end the hunger in the world. But it's really to end those people's hunger forever and actually eradicate them. And if you watch the show, you know that the elite think that they're special, that they're beyond the peasantry of the world, if you want to call it that.
Yeah. They're humans and we're animals, and they're great and we're not, and they're magical and have special powers and we don't, and they're going to live forever. We're going to die tomorrow, and I don't know.
And exactly.
Is 500,000 shares of Monsanto that Bill Gates.
Right.
Oh,
right.
okay.
500,000 shares of Monsanto. He obviously has multiple interests in this company. It doesn't seem like money is certainly one. I mean, he's banking on the fact that they're going to come up big. Being an investor like Bill Gates, you research these type of things, and you know that if you have 500,000 shares in a company, that you're banking on it. And
isn't it true, Court, that they're actually spending more on fighting labeling than they would actually labeling?
Well, you'd think so. Spending $1 million a day was definitely more than spending a few million, I would say, just to simply change the label on your product to follow. But
they're like, we can't exactly put a skull and crossbones, or hey, you guys, I'm a smoker. That's probably just as bad as eating the corn in this country. But right here on the side of the pack of this cigarettes here, it says Surgeon General's warning.
Exactly.
And I might light up right now, but I feel good that I've been warned, and I'm not a pregnant woman, so that's one less thing I got to worry about. But and
it's still your right to know if the cigarettes cause that, and I think it's good to have it on the package. All politics aside, I mean, this shouldn't be left or right issue. This should be a humanity issue. This should be an issue of everyone's right to know. If people obsess over the right, the right to choose and the right to choose, right? Then why should we not obsess for the right to know certain things about, especially what we're eating? Food keeps us all alive. If the content of the food is different, then we need to know that information. It just goes to show. I mean, what's the point of having anything labeled on there if we can't know that this is labeled on there? And it just goes to show, though, that the head of the FDA is a former Monsanto head, fought for substantial equivalence for GMOs, so that you can't even label if it's GMO. And he was tied to the Clinton administration. A few things self-proclaimed liberals don't like to hear, because it's like they took the defenses they used for Bill Clinton, and they're already using them for Obama. Even though he doesn't have his own Monica Lewinsky yet, but that goes down a whole other road.
That's an entirely different subject. But you did bring up Obama, and it's pretty good. Oh, you brought up Obama. Hey, check this out.
Let me just interject really quickly on you guys with the numbers right now. Mitt Romney, 153 in the Electoral College. Barack Obama, 123.
Okay.
We're
That's
getting
what-
a few more reporting in. Illinois is at 21%, Nebraska 0.3. We're getting some people reporting up into the 30s, though. Vermont 23.6.
Oh, whoa.
Well,
Okay.
you know,
Oh, you're
I sort of
scrolling
think-
over red and you're scrolling over blue states, but I'm seeing more red on there than blue. And as you guys can see, I'm wearing a red hat. That's right.
Yeah, that's a lot of red.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Tonight's the big heavyweight fight. Thanks for tuning in to the Media Speaks live election coverage. We were just talking about GMOs and Proposition 37 here in California. And, you know, when you go to the voting booth, there's all these propositions and 30, 32, 37. And do you know what they are? And do you know what they mean? And do you know how you're going to vote? Well, here at the Media Speaks, D-Lake personally recommends you vote yes on 37. Court, what do you say about Prop 37? How would you vote?
well, a definite yes, and this is almost bigger than the election itself, dare I say. Seeing that the numbers Kyle had up on here, they're obviously setting this up to be a landslide victory. I'm guessing for Obama right now, but it shows Romney ahead in electoral votes. But
Still early, right? Still early.
it's kind of coming down to the normal, the normal scope here. I mean, the states that are usually red are seem to be red. You know, so far it's you know, like you said, it could be like the Don King fight here. You know, see if
and
which side. Okay, go ahead.
Oh yeah, well it is like a Don King fight. One guy's going to take a fall, the other guy's going to take the belt, and either way, Don King's going to win.
Hey, either way, they make
Yeah.
a lot of money, and who's to say they haven't tucked away all these campaign donations that they've received already? You know, it's
Well-
actually you make. We were having a conversation the other day, D-Lake.
Right.
They spend millions of dollars to achieve an office that makes $400,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
And that being said alone shows that they have more than an interest. They have interest. They have strings attached, per se.
Yeah. Why exactly does a billionaire want to be the president of the United States? Because he's so super smart and he knows how to make the country better, or
No, he wants good for us. He wants good for the middle class.
He wants to make a golden brick road for all his cronies and buddies and all his business buddies, right? I mean, Cayman Islands and all that other stuff, right?
Yeah, and I would have loved to have seen one of these third-party candidates in there and just straight up call them out on the Goldman Sachs connections here. Because no matter what, they're keeping the Federal Reserve in power. They're going to both reappoint Bernanke, who was originally appointed by W. Bush.
Ben Bernanke, the head of the Federal Reserve, is that right? Head
That's
chair?
correct.
Yeah.
And he's created unlimited QE, which has lowered our credit rating with two different companies. That being said alone, if they continue us down this, kicking this can down this road, it's going to be disastrous. I mean, it's just a ticking time bomb here. It's not if, it's when. And they keep raising the debt ceiling. That's kicking the can down the road. But eventually the can is going to bounce off the wall and hit us in the you-know-what. So, yeah.
In the ass?
Yes.
Hey, don't edit that. Don't clip just that part out. That'd be wrong. Don't take D-Lake out of context, okay? We're here. This is a live show on election night. And how do you guys like the fact that the Media Speaks puts together a live election show for you? Do we have anyone watching? Kyle,
We got one.
we got a viewer. And
Well, thank you for
Kyle, Kyle, why don't you click around a little bit there on our super screen and fill in our viewer on what we're looking at here tonight.
All right, well, it's looking like, according to Google, which I don't know if I said this live, but Google tends to be a little bit slower than a lot of the other maps that you see that show all the election results as they come in, but they tend to be more accurate. Some of the other ones, they'll flip them around. They're not exactly sure because they're trying to rush them too fast. But Google's got it 153 Mitt Romney, Barack Obama 123. You can see the map right here, which obviously blue is Obama states, red is Mitt Romney, at least thus far. And if it's thin like this, that means that they barely got anybody reporting in, that it's just a small amount reporting in right now. And then I got in the election results for CBS News. Let's see if they got the same numbers.
Gary Johnson has a percent right there, I saw.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even get to that. They got 143 to 153, Mitt Romney. And yeah, I can actually go down here, and I can see Gary Johnson is at 0.6%. So not what we want. We want 5%, obviously. But
yeah.
And so below Gary Johnson there, for if someone doesn't know, Jill Stein, she is the Green Party presidential candidate that was arrested trying to attend one of the presidential debates, where the only people that are going to be in that debate are the two heavyweights, okay? You welterweights and lightweights and third parties, you got no business being here. So says the Presidential Debate Commission or committee or whatever, and it used to be the League of Women Voters, and they gave it up because they're like, dude, there shouldn't even be what we have here with this committee because it doesn't let other people get in, and if we continue, it's just going to go down the road to a bad place. But then some superstar Republican and another fancy pants Democrat decided that they were going to head up a new committee. And I think their basic goal and objective was that we're just going to turn the presidential election into the Super Bowl. And as you know, in the Super Bowl, I've never seen three teams play in the Super Bowl.
No. Yeah, you don't see three teams because they don't want three teams. It's blue and it's red for Coke. It's blue for Pepsi. That's all I see on this map right here.
And I got a blue cap here just in case Obama starts pulling ahead, maybe for later. But underneath my dark gangster exterior, I'm wearing a Ron Paul shirt. He's real hope right here. All right.
Hey, let me ask you guys a question. Who do you think is going to get more votes, Gary Johnson or Ron Paul as a write-in?
Is Ron Paul even on this map? I mean, Roseanne Barr is getting more
well,
votes than
considering
Ron Paul.
certain states don't really allow write-ins generally. I mean, there's certain states that do count a lot of the write-ins, but I know in certain states they really don't. They only give it to the candidate who achieves the most votes, which is pretty scandalous. But I do think it's probably going to be Gary Johnson of this effect that his name is actually on the ballot. So there will be a lot of people who are upset and maybe do not know which way to go and will choose Gary Johnson.
Well, Gary Johnson's been a lot more prominent in the news ever since Ron Paul's son, Rand Paul, decided that he was going to endorse Mittens Romney there. And
yeah, just like his other son who phoned bank for Ron Paul, by the way.
Oh, yeah, and during the early Republican GOP debates and all that and finding out who was going to be their candidate, their Mitt Romney, I guess. And, well, anyways, if you guys ask me, I think Mitt Romney just stood there like a wooden board. And if you go back and look at around the time that Kane dropped out, or around the time that Perry dropped out, when Ron Paul embarrassed him holding up 5 fingers when he couldn't remember 3, and Bachmann tried to challenge Paul on Iran and some other stuff, and she got embarrassed, and then she was out. And Gingrich was just a loon from day one. It didn't take much to dismantle him. Rick Santorum. And here, hey, I just want to ask you guys one simple question. See this 7-Eleven cup? And you've seen me hold them up a few times, okay, everybody? Romney. Yeah. This is the Republican red, like my cap, Romney coffee cup at 7-Eleven, where it's 7-Election. And you choose one of the 2 cups here, okay? And would you guys drink coffee out of this cup if it said Santorum?
Yeah, I would, just for
you would drink Santorum? You would drink Santorum?
I would drink Santorum just because walking down the street, people would be like, what the fuck? Like, you have a Santorum cup? Like, did you make that? Like, who? Like, I would just for the shock value of it.
I'm gonna write Santorum on my cup with a Sharpie. Hey, can you?
Hey, you know what would be worse? I think it would be worse if you drank Clinton. I mean, because everybody would just think Monica Lewinsky, right?
Yeah. Good one, Court. Essentially though, when you drink out of this blue cup, you are drinking Clinton, because
exactly.
This is the Bush cup, the red. This is the Clinton cup, the blue. Okay, you guys. Tonight's show at themediaspeaks.com live election night show is brought to you by the color red and the color blue, the letter F and the letter U.
Make sure to sing that to your children at night tonight, folks.
That's tonight's bedtime song.
Yeah.
I wonder, we're kind of sipping, it looks like we're sipping on beers. I wonder if there's anyone out there smoking marijuana.
How dare you?
Well, actually, you can see on this map where most of Illinois is, most of Maine, New York, Massachusetts, not so much South Dakota, Nebraska, Texas. Florida, it looks like they're smoking a little bit.
It's hard to get the good stuff that far inland, or well, what's up with that?
Yeah.
But D Lake put out a report this week. It was actually kind of a remix report. It was a little bit older, but it had to deal with Obama and Romney's stance on marijuana. A lot of people seem to like that topic of marijuana. It's got a lot of views. And tonight, let's go to Kyle. Can we go to Court's video number 2, Obama's original stance on marijuana video back in 2008 when he was, is that right? Back when he was smoking reefer?
Where he basically explains he wouldn't waste Justice Department resources on all these marijuana raids, which is the complete opposite of what he said.
Now he has a federal raid every day.
Okay, here we go.
Exactly.
Let's watch it.
Now, when it comes to medical marijuana, I have more of a practical view than anything else. I mean, my attitude is that if
It's got a weird filter on it.
I don't know.
Yeah, it'll go off. It'll go off.
it's an issue of doctors prescribing medical marijuana as a treatment for glaucoma or as a cancer treatment, I think that should be appropriate because there really is no difference between that and a doctor prescribing morphine or anything else.
He looks a little high when he's saying that.
I think there are legitimate concerns in not wanting to allow people to grow their own or start setting up mom and pop shops because it becomes fairly difficult to regulate. And, you know, again, I'm not familiar with all the details of the initiative that was passed and what safeguards there were in place, but I think the basic concept that using medical marijuana in the same way with the same controls as other.
He looks like a stoner who got called on in history class. That's what
Somebody, whoever put this video out slowed it down a little bit, right? They slowed it down so he seems a little more high, or what? And medical.
Federal law, of course, still considered.
Nobody blinks that slow. It's slowed down.
There's been attempts from Washington.
It's so funny though. I think that's hilarious.
Well, yeah, he's talking about what a great idea it is, and then he has all these federal raids. And here in California, Southern California, I don't know how it is where Court is, but there was like dispensaries everywhere last year. Dispensaries everywhere, and then a whole bunch of them had to close. And then a buddy of mine told me now they can only deliver. So you call and get your weed delivered to you, your marijuana?
Really?
I don't know. I guess, but I mean, that's the same thing I'm worried about with these propositions in California. It's like, yeah, we vote yes on Prop 37 to label foods here in California. Then the federal government comes in and says, we're going to override that decision, and because all these guys are. Monsanto's on our back, and we're carrying them around piggyback style.
Like, that's just you're pointing out reasons to vote for Gary Johnson, D-Lake.
Court, what would you say is the main reason that people should vote Gary Johnson? And we can see he's got it went from 0.6 to 0.5, but I mean he's in there right below Mitt Romney and Barack Obama is Gary Johnson. Why should people vote Gary Johnson, Anthony Court, and then Kyle Phillips? And put up some pictures of Gary Johnson so people would know who we're talking about. And I was just talking to my sister today, who said that 90% of her friends, when they took a quiz, I'm like, was it the Nolan chart? She's like, oh, I don't really remember, but we all took it. 90% of us came up libertarian.
Yeah, everybody comes up libertarian.
I mean...
it looks like Court's maybe having some issues with his microphone. His video's coming through okay.
Court, we can see you, but we can't hear you. I don't know if you can hear us, but you might want to do a mic check 1, 2 there. There's Gary Johnson. If people are tuning in, you're taking a look at him. He was, what was he? He was the governor of New Mexico, right?
Governor of New Mexico, and he's running with Jim Gray, who's a circuit judge in California.
Right. Gray's from California, and I used to live. I live in California now, and I used to live in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and everyone in New Mexico is cool as jazz, and you know what? So is Gary Johnson right there. Look how cool he looks, man.
Look at that. He's rocking a sports jacket with a T-shirt. That's like
he looks Miami Vice. He looks like Don Johnson right there.
He does. He looks like he's going around spreading justice.
We can't see his pants, but I'm sure they're much cooler than Mitt Romney's women's jeans that he likes to wear.
Yeah. Check it out. Like, he's even got like teenage girls over here checking him out in the background because they're like, "Holy crap! Is that Gary Johnson, the sexiest man running for president?" Yes.
Know, those girls Those girls are making faces like whoever's talking to him doesn't smell so good.
Maybe these girls are like hardcore Democrats. They're like, ooh, Gary Johnson.
What's that face she's making? She's like, hey, Court, can we hear anything from you? Is your mic working? Your mic's not working, bro. We can't hear you. You're on mute, dude. We can't hear you, Court. If you can hear us, we cannot hear you. Okay.
Okay. You'll be back. He'll be back. There's a more fancy,
I'll be back.
Little nicer picture.
All right, play video number 3, Kyle, on Court's links.
The Huffington Post one?
Yeah. Obama from first to worst.
Can-do'sville, baby now.
About marijuana. There's a lot of stoners that are tuned in right now, and we started talking about marijuana, and they're like, don't stop talking about that Mary Jane!
Some people are just like that.
It's our favorite topic!
Is this a video?
Oh no, it's more like an article. Oh, it's a chart. It's a good follow-up. It's a graph with check marks compared to other presidents. Okay, so let's take a look at those check marks. And this is, Obama is arguably the worst president on medical marijuana.
Please cut to the schedule. Yeah, it's Schedule 1 or whatever it is. It's Schedule 1, right?
Run down those last 5, Kyle, because it looks like that's where he's got all the checks that no one else has. What is that?
Here, let's see. Barack Obama, place cut marijuana in Schedule 1. Refusal to provide federal...
Oh, a Schedule 1 drug, which is like the worst kind.
Yeah, it's like as bad as heroin or cocaine.
Oh!
Let's see. Refusal to provide MMJ waivers. So I'm not sure what that is. Blocking MMJ research, medical marijuana. Okay. Threats against doctors who recommend. He hasn't done that. The only one who's done that is Bill Clinton.
MMJ, Miss Mary Jane.
Civil lawsuits and criminal charges against medical marijuana providers. Property forfeiture, threats against landlords, IRS crushing businesses, federal prosecutors opposing state-level MMJ measures, federal prosecutors scaring banks into dumping medical marijuana accounts, and ATF scaring gun shops from selling guns to medical marijuana patients.
Oh, you went through all the rigmarole to get your medical marijuana license and talking to the doctor and all that and getting your license. Hey, we got Court back. And I thought that when you get your medical marijuana license or degree or whatever it is, that also grants you certain growing rights. Hey, Court, do you know in California, if you have your medicinal marijuana certificate or whatever piece of paper, isn't it true that you can grow a couple plants?
Well, yeah, it has a certain amount of people per card that can do that amount of mature plants you could have at one time. I believe it's 6 or something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah.
And
am I coming?
If you were, yeah, you're coming through good, man. If you had 6 plants growing and it was legal under your medicinal marijuana use and right there, I don't know how it's a right if it's something you have to go out and get licensed for and go through a whole bunch of stuff to get. But isn't it true that you probably might want to have a gun? Because people might. There was like an old lady just like last month, like an 80-year-old lady that had weed at her house. That she had to fend off some gangsters with her gun. And wouldn't you want to have a gun if you were growing marijuana?
Well, yeah, of course.
Nowadays,
But I mean, if to be safe, I would say to properly store your firearm. Yeah, because once they see, once they're able to depict the marijuana with the guns, then there's automatically this guilty association with the growers, which they try to spin in the media once they make these local busts. And these busts have been happening every other day here in the Valley as well as all over California. Big prominent cannabis clubs have been closing down, ones that have been abiding the laws, but more recently they've been threatening the landlords of the doctors and the people who provide leases to medical marijuana clubs. So they're pulling their strings, their executive strings, to basically abridge the state's rights to make their own laws, which is totally against what this country is about. Otherwise, there wouldn't even be different states if we all had to succumb to one federal law and didn't have the own right to make our own laws. So it's really just ass backwards, like everything else has been in this in recent years.
No, that question's been asked before. We've all heard it. That why do we even have states if the Fed's going to come in and just impose their way and like Michelle Obama, she's like, yeah, I'm the first lady and I'm going to dictate your entire lunch menu. We talked about that in one of our first live shows. But just because we're talking kind of bad about Obama, and Court, while you were cut out there, we were mentioning that he was trying to ban gun sales to medicinal marijuana patients, which is why we were at where we were at when you came back in. But just because we're talking a gang of mess about Obama's marijuana, we're kind of making fun of him because he looks all high in the video, and he's like, "Oh, I think it's a great idea."
No, he is high in the video.
Yeah, he looked a little blazed, but that was back in 2008 when he thought everything was a great idea, and then he got in there. Do you guys think that maybe he ever was kind of a good guy and like he liked getting high and hanging out and just doing regular stuff, and then as soon as he thought maybe being the president would be a good idea, but when he got in there, he started getting bent over by all these globalists and other stuff, and then he's like, damn, this is a hard job.
Well, that's been theorized, and here, and then there's that whole argument, couldn't they just threaten your family or whatever just to go with whatever they wanted? But if you look at Obama's track record, it seems like he's been their sort of Manchurian candidate the globalists have propped in. He's completely got along.
Do you think maybe he was kind of just a regular guy in the beginning, or do you think he's always been kind of a conniving, manipulative kind of guy that goes with the flow that makes the most money? Or is he a communist?
What is the stereotype about all lawyers? He was essentially a lawyer. Not high in practice, but they're all conniving. They all become lawyers to circumvent the law and to protect the scumbags away from the people like you and I. So if you look at a lot of his old campaign rhetoric back in 2007, 2008, you'll see the way that he words certain things is just like a law firm would word something. It's just like marketing. And it really shines through, especially when he talks about lobbyists. And, he doesn't really bring that up too much anymore, if you notice. That wouldn't do justice to the ones he has serving his White House. And
we don't want to talk about those lobbyists.
Yeah, those lobbyists.
But continue.
Essentially, he allowed them to change their name to whatever they wanted to get away from that label of a lobbyist, even granting them more power, allowing them to set themselves away from that name. Now, it just adds another level of research that people don't want to do. I mean, that's why less people are informed on certain things about that. And go ahead.
But you, Anthony Court, do the research, and you did the research, and you put out an article last night for today, for people to check out today on themediaspeaks.com and on Facebook. Kyle, can we take a look at that article? Oh, look at that. Look at that. They're both like puppet hands, like, oh, Goldman Sachs.
Yeah, I unfortunately didn't have time to add the strings in the interest of time, but I figured the hand gestures alone would give that off.
The hands do imply that they are attached by strings, and their mouths are both like whatever they're saying is censored and conditioned to be Goldman Sachs. Both guys share the same. Both guys share the same mouthpiece, and the only thing dividing those two gentlemen is themediaspeaks.com.
Yeah, which that's a pretty good, what's it called, a meme?
Great
meme.
Yeah.
It's a great meme. It's not bad.
And
I would have invested more time in making it, but it came out well.
The article came out great. I thought it was a good one. Why don't you give us let's not just read it, but give us your synopsis after having worked on it last night and having been working on it yesterday and getting into all those topics. I mean, what did you researching that issue about both those gentlemen, Romney and Obama, being a retroactive vote for George Bush, which is what I've been saying. It's been the same all along. But what were the most startling points that you came across, Court? Go.
Well, there's many points. I mean, there's every point. There are the points that they ignored during the whole debate and this whole time, these past 3 years after he achieved office. Now, the first whole year of his presidency, they kept really, really quiet and distant from the issues that they talked about during the campaign and immediately moved away from prosecution of torture of the Gitmo detainees of the Bush and Cheney administration. And, I was, awake one night and I thought back to the 2008 campaign. I just remember so many people were so passionate about the war in Iraq and the war in Afghanistan and it being wrong and how we need to stop the war machine. And up came Obama, and that's the person who was going to bring us that suddenly. And we've had nothing of that nature. Both of those wars have continued. There's been a de-escalation of troops in Iraq, but our presence will be permanent there, as it has in South Korea ever since since almost every United States conflict there is. And the main points in the article basically just go against how Obama said the main things that Obama got elected. He said he'll end the wars, and he started doing so day one. There's actually video footage of that. I don't know if Kyle Phillips wanted to, if Kyle, you wanted to bring that up in a second here. But the fact is, he didn't end any of Bush's wars completely day one. And he didn't make the huge troop withdrawal in Iraq until recently. He kept the same defense secretary George W. Bush had that is partially responsible for these conflicts that were railed against. Everybody thought he would revive the outlook.
Hey, Court, let's check this out.
Okay.
Let's check this out, Court. Kyle, go ahead. Let's hear Obama promised and making some big promises here.
I will promise you this, that if we have not gotten our troops out by the time I am president, it is the first thing I will do. I will get our troops home. We will bring an end to this war. You can take that to the bank.
Yeah, you can take that to Goldman Sachs. That's right. And that's
too bad they won't let you in the front door. Hey, get off private property, pal. This is a private bank, and leave us alone. We're printing money. We're printing all your money. Just go
Yeah, and that's
spend it
exactly
and
that's
STFU.
exactly the point of the article is he got elected by running against these conflicts and did nothing about it after saying it would be his top priority. So that just goes to show he doesn't have a priority for the American people's interests or for the interests of our civil rights. He said he made it seem like our outlook that the world had of the United States was damaged, and that he would help revive that, like he did on his apology tour, which hasn't been effective because in the Benghazi situation and all the drone attacks that Obama has ordered, more than even W. Bush himself. I used to have an exact number on that, but the numbers have risen since that statistic came out. But
hey, Court,
it just goes to show. Yeah.
It does. What does it go to show?
Well, it just goes to show that people have forgotten. People let themselves fall victim to the wolves. I mean, I go on to later in the article to conclude that. I mean, have we become that person on Jerry Springer that gets cheated on time after time, but we keep coming back to the same person because it's all we know?
The abused
Same victim. We constantly point out, why the hell is she with this guy?
Mm-hmm.
We're that same person voting over and over again, expecting the different results. It's just
Yeah, you're having some volume issues.
Goes on.
Hey, Court, you're
Same
getting
thing over again.
Hey, Court, you're getting a little robotic there. Hey, Kyle, can we go back to the stats?
Yeah, let's take a look at those really quickly.
Hey, you got the Google up there?
Yep. Let me just.
We're looking at Google's live stats. Hey, you mentioned earlier that it's a little bit slower than the other sites or something. What other sites are you looking at? This one right here?
Yeah, I can pull up like.
Wait, whoa, Kyle, go back. Go back to that one. Obama just took the lead. D-Lake's going blue.
Uh-oh.
Then,
Put on your blue hat.
Obama. Ah, shit, man. I'm going to get a free phone and everything. Are you kidding me? This guy's taking the lead. Free cars for everybody.
Our currency's ruined. Yay.
Yeah, dude. Hell has come. That car that we're all rolling in, that's approaching that cliff. We're just stepping on the gas now. It's 157 to 153. Ah!
Here,
Wait, go back to that chart. How come the numbers look all off? Wait. 49% popular vote, 50% popular vote.
Yeah, well, the popular vote has no effect on the electoral. The electoral is just the delegates who get picked for that area. They can vote however the fuck they want, pretty much.
Oh, electoral votes.
Yeah, like that whole Ron Paul debacle.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
Well, not anymore. After Mitt Romney sued them.
Kyle, scroll back up. I'm sorry. Can you scroll back up? Electoral votes needed to win 270, remaining 228. How is either one of these guys going to get 270 then?
Well, because they each have 150 plus.
Oh
already.
yeah. Oh yeah. They already have that. Oh okay. Yeah. Silly D-Lake.
Well, if there's that many left.
As soon as I put on this blue cap, I'm just not thinking straight, you guys. I'm sorry.
It's like
It's exactly what they want. It's all that fluoride.
Well, it's like, if you're like stuck, let's say you're in an elevator and the elevator stops and you're stuck in it for like 3 hours, like you'd prefer to be stuck in that elevator with like a libertarian anti-globalist, but if it's gotta be a Republican or a Democrat, you're gonna pick the Republican, let's be real.
Hopefully she has nice breasts as well. Nice fine body. I mean, if we're stuck in the elevator, I mean, come on.
Hey guys, am I coming through all right?
Yeah, you're coming good through. You're coming through pretty good right now, Court. Hey, Kyle. Let's go to another video. Oh, let's go to number 4, which I think is a video that D-Lake featured in my most recent report, Obama versus Romney on marijuana. I really meant like, medical marijuana. But actually, Romney is afraid that just saying medical marijuana is good might lead to full legalization, which he is going to fight tooth and nail.
And nail.
Tooth and nail. Let's hear it, Romney. Say it.
And that is, I would not legalize marijuana for medicinal purposes, and the reasons are straightforward. As I talk to people in my state and at the federal government level about marijuana and its role in society, they are convinced that the entryway for bringing people to marijuana. That marijuana is the starter drug, and that the idea of medical marijuana is designed to help get marijuana out in the public marketplace and ultimately legalization of marijuana overall. And in my view, that's the wrong way to go.
And we can't have that.
Differing views. And if you'd like to get somebody who's in favor of marijuana, I know there is some on the Democratic side of the aisle. It'll be happy to get in your campaign. You can let your president legalize marijuana. I'm going to fight it tooth and nail.
Tooth and nail.
Yeah! Yeah!
I was going to say that particular speech sounded better in my video with my awesome dubbed over music. I try to pick the cool hip hop instrumentals for you. My mom, however, doesn't really like that big bass, but I love it. And there's no stopping D-Lake for Prez. I'm like an 18-wheeler Mack truck of news and information coming right at you guys. All right.
Yeah. We all know that, D-Lake.
Thanks, guys. And what do we want? Mitt Romney, who's going to fight marijuana and the legalization of marijuana and medical marijuana, he's going to fight that tooth and nail. Or Obama, who looks stoned when he talks about it being a great idea, but yet that's all BS because he's launching federal raids every day. California passes medicinal marijuana, but then the feds come in and say, no, now you have to close up and delivery only. And Mayor Bloomberg says you can't have drinks over a certain size. When if I was 7-Eleven, I'd be like, we've been selling super big gulps for years, bro, and now you're coming in and saying we can't. You owe us like millions and trillions of dollars.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
People, theater, between movie theaters, 7-Eleven, and other gas companies and stuff, now they can't sell big drinks in New York. How much money are they losing?
Well, it's just part of the scam. I mean, once they did this with McDonald's toys and disallowed McDonald's toys to be sold in the Happy Meals, all McDonald's did was start charging for the toy because you can't stop them from charging for a toy. So it's just a way for them to actually make more money.
You say we can't have the toy included in the price of the meal, but if we just tack it on separate, then you can have it.
Yeah, and that's all these corporations are going to do when confronted with these type of regulations. People, they know that people are just going to buy two of the smaller sizes now and probably have to end up paying more. So,
that's the big scam. Yeah. They're like, oh, well, they'll buy two, and it's going to.
And that goes that goes along with Big Agra's control, or the big food corporations' control, and how they want to put the smaller businesses out of business by creating such ridiculous standards to live up to wipe out their competition.
Let me ask you a direct question. How the hell can the mayor be your dietitian? How can he tell you what? How can that guy tell you what your diet is going to be?
I'm not letting him tell me to. I'm not letting him tell me to cough and look to the left. I'll tell you what. And that'll be it'll be a cold day in hell before I let a politician tell me what to do. And it's about time. We put our foot down when it comes to them trying to, interfere with things that, in our daily lives, things that parents should be making these big decisions on and not giving it up to their local officials, which is complete and utter nonsense. I mean, it's like they've trained people to forget being parents and let the government take care of your children, because that's people. You can't take care of your own children. You don't get to decide what your children can eat. You don't get to decide what is in your food, because we want to sterilize you and control every aspect of your life. And it's just like when confronted about certain things in the Supreme Court, they dig in their heels deeper and add ridiculous legislation, because when you challenge authority, they just fight. It's just another power grab for them, another opportunity to do things that they couldn't before, just like Rahm Emanuel said.
Yeah. And
things of that nature.
Rahm Emanuel does not want you to have a gun. You certainly do not have the ability to pack your child's lunch. And if you dare to put Doritos or any kind of special snacks, and I mean, the couple days after Halloween, when every kid's got a lunch sack filled with Butterfingers and Snickers and Reese's Pieces and stuff, and it's like, we have to confiscate that Butterfinger and Reese's Pieces. And it's like, are you teachers really going to throw that in the trash, or are you going to gain 20 pounds this weekend?
Well, it's part of the military. You know, it's the police state. They're giving the teachers TSA power in taking away something as ridiculous as a soda. You can't enter this airport unless you give us this soda, and you have to go buy another one. It's part of the scam of making these corporations more money, and it's part of them participating in another power grab. And that goes along with this whole, marijuana thing. If we elect Obama or Romney, that's going to continue. These raids are going to continue. If we elect Obama or Romney,
it's going to stay illegal.
It's all going to continue. We all need to stand, and you were asking me earlier why we should support Gary Johnson. We need to stand with our values. You said your sister took a test at work with her friends.
Yeah.
They came out libertarian. Because if you take those tests without thinking what you've been told by the mainstream media, you will, for the most part, come out libertarian. Because it's common sense. It is
everyone's common
sense,
common knowledge, and just general overall feelings are geared towards freedom and liberty. And that's
freedom and liberty. I only believe that I can choose to spend my money more efficiently than the federal government does when it comes to education. And they've proven that they can waste money time and time again and then request more of it with things like Prop 30. That's another big state proposition coming in California.
30. Hey, Court. Why don't you and Kyle discuss the figures that Kyle has up there on the screen? I have to take a short break.
Well, let's go over really quickly, since David Lake gave us such a great segue. The new numbers, according to CBS News, are Obama 157, Mitt Romney 162.
Oh, they're neck and neck, neck and neck, neck and neck.
And then we got on Google Mitt Romney 159, Obama 143, and here, let's see where Gary Johnson's holding still at 0.5%.
Yeah, it seems like they're going to keep him down there. They don't want a game changer this election. They want it to be neck and neck. They don't want you to think about the third party, just like we were talking about the presidential debate committee arrested Jill Stein, wouldn't allow Gary Johnson in the debate even though he qualified. They don't want a third voice. They don't want a third choice. They want you to focus on red and blue, just like we've been saying all night here.
Nobody plays Chinese checkers, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's a game of risk here, and they don't want you to see the other colors on the board. They don't want you to see the other choices in the Monopoly game that don't want to play the Monopoly game. Those aren't the pieces you can choose because we don't give you them as a choice. We don't give you a Gary Johnson piece in the Monopoly game. We don't give you a Ron Paul. We don't give you a Ralph Nader. We give you the Mitt Romney. We give you the Bill Clinton. We give you the Barack Obama. We give you all of the puppets. That's all they want. That's all they want in the limelight. They don't want a real voice.
It makes me think about, I believe it was Bill Hicks who used to tell a joke that it's like he thought that the Olympics should have an event which is poker, and you only get to play with the amount of money that your country is worth. And like obviously he makes the joke, it's like, you know, Guam or like Hungary all in, and the United States is just like, I'll double it and then folds, you know, just to get them out of the game. It's like, unless you're the United States, unless you're Great Britain, Johnson doesn't have nearly the money that Obama and Mitt Romney do, and that's why we're really hoping for this 5%, because then he will get that money, or at least some of it.
Well, they'll at least get a boost next time around, and I'm personally hoping for Jesse Ventura 2016. I don't know about you guys, but that would be
Well, here,
great.
let me ask you this though: if Jesse Ventura runs in 2016, let's say if Gary Johnson gets his 5% today, if that was to happen, Jesse Ventura, or would you vote for Gary Johnson because he has the better shot at it?
Well, that would all depend. I think with the movement, and how the movement's going, a lot of people have been going more Gary Johnson. If they were to unite forces, like Jesse Ventura said he wanted to do with Ron Paul originally, if he were to run as a third-party candidate, things like that could happen. I mean, we could unite the Liberty Movement into something substantial and do it in a timely manner before the election, so we are better organized and prepared, and we could give them a real boost, a real chance next time around. And a lot of people have been saying, is this country going to even last till 2016? And with this unlimited QE, they keep Bernanke in-house, third world nation, in the next few years. And people don't realize this. We are so asleep. People don't want to pay attention to economics because they've made it appear to be a headache, because it is. It's an endless stream of debt that is going to pound us into the ground if we don't wake up right now and elect someone who will demand a balanced budget like Gary Johnson, Ron Paul, or Jesse Ventura. That's who we need.
I absolutely
you want to
agree.
add to that, Kyle?
I absolutely agree with you, Clark.
I'm getting a little bit slow on my end here too from running all these programs. Like, I don't know if you guys can tell, but here
You're coming through pretty good, Kyle.
Okay, that's good. See, I hit that button like 15 seconds ago. But here, since you were talking about by the year 2016, are we even going to exist anymore? And that brings me to something that I want to get you guys' thoughts on. So I just want you to watch this video here in a second. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
The Red Dawn trailer, is that what we're looking at here?
That's what we're looking at.
All right, let's see it. Chris Hemsworth, Thor.
You're in the Air Force, right?
Marines, actually.
How long are you here for?
A few weeks.
30 seconds left. Just get us in field goal range.
22!
Uh-oh. EMP.
Entire Northwest Corridor.
Drake and Josh.
What's going on?
It's the Russians!
Get to the cabin.
Oh, no, it's not the Russians this time, D-Lake. It's the,
North Koreans.
It was supposed to be the Chinese, but now it's the North Koreans.
They threw a fit over it.
There's Patrick Swayze.
It's those returning domestic terrorists, those veterans.
Boys, I love you both, but I want you to do what I would do.
Oh, the returning veteran.
Get down! Get to the chopper!
When I think replace Charlie Sheen, I think of Josh from Drake and Josh.
Yeah, you know what? Let's just shove Hannah Montana in there. Right on.
Yeah,
Well,
let's just.
Josh got buffed up, didn't he? He's not that big fat kid anymore.
No, he does cocaine now. I assume. I don't know. I was
joining the 27 club, right?
I was somebody who did watch Drake and Josh. I found that show to be hilarious, and it did seem
Nickelodeon show, right?
Yeah, towards the end, the last season, I do have my suspicions that he started doing cocaine because he got really slim really, really quickly.
Cocaine and puberty are a lot alike. You never know.
Here, I'm checking to see if we got any new election updates here. Oh man, I'm getting slow.
Maybe Google's getting slow with all these election results.
Yeah,
but
probably.
On Google right there, it looks like Romney's ahead, 159 to 147, 50% to 48%. And those percentage numbers can actually continue to go up and down here. As we
they want it to appear neck and neck. Obviously, I think they're going to try and call it a landslide victory in the end.
We've been talking the past couple hangouts about a 43-40 Obama win as projected by CBS and the People's Court. And then you guys might have heard, look what Kyle's got on his desktop there. Oh, what's that play? Gia Vice City. Oh, that's pretty hot.
No porn.
Too. Yeah, we're looking for porn. We're scanning your desktop for porn right now.
That's no porn. Crazy Taxi. There's a few games on there. I'll be honest. I'll be transparent. You know, I'm like.
Yeah, let's see some transparency on your desktop, pal.
All right, let's see. We got.
What do you got?
Well, we got here. Let me see if I can get it.
Crazy Taxi 3.
Click open. Yeah, I got This is XAMPP. This is a program that I've been using to. It's like a simulator of what it would be like to host on a private website. I've been using this to try and get the website ready to be moved over to a private server, right?
All right, I'm familiar with that. What else you got?
I got the 001 game creator, where I occasionally work on trying to make the Media Speaks video game, but I am not very good at it. So
I've heard you talk about that a little bit. We need to talk more about that. Okay, another time.
Every episode stuff. This is where I keep things that we use for the episodes, like the intro.
Hey, there's D Lake in the intro. All right.
This is Anthony Court.
Yep.
It is. It is me.
David Lake's there, and he's Kyle Phillips.
He speaks.
And I'm all newsy.
I was clean shaven in that one. I'm doing November with you guys.
Yeah. I had my hair shaved down. It looks better like that.
So here's
and no glasses too, ladies. Did you see those? Did you see those blue eyeballs, man? They got Thor to be the new Patrick Swayze. They should have called D Lake for Prez.
They probably should have if they were smart.
Yeah, I don't think I could have been in that new Red Dawn movie. Why don't you just let it be the old Red Dawn movie? And why doesn't Hollywood leave all these movies alone, guys?
You guys want to see some up-and-coming personal project stuff?
Yeah, I mean, we're into about an hour when we normally start talking about more entertainment, personal stuff.
This is, I know, Court, I've showed you this, but I'm going to be making a web series separate from the Media Speaks. I'm probably going to film it over winter break. But are you ready for this, D-Lake? I think Court's seen it.
Yeah, what do you got?
Check this out.
It's the Trekkie thing, right?
Yeah. This is my new show.
Star Trek.
Oh, wait, is that the one? I think that one has no audio. Let's see.
Oh.
A park for a place people without money live. These are the hats to live a lower income, boldly live where others have lived previously. Apartment track. Starring Kyle Phillips.
That's what do you think?
People have lived previously, and then when the logo comes in, it's the color of like luminol. Did you scan your new apartment with luminol when you moved in?
with what?
Are you familiar with luminol?
I don't think that I am.
And like those sort of purpley illuminating lights that detectives use to scan the hotel beds for blood and semen and other DNA type stuff.
We didn't, but I was told by the security guy here, which he's a buddy of mine. He was telling me
someone was previously murdered in your apartment.
Yeah. On this night 5 years ago,
where you're sitting
on this very night in that couch, on that leather couch.
On this night 4 years ago, exactly the last time Obama got the White House.
Yeah, so
is the stencil of the body still there?
Yeah, I got a chalk outline in his kitchen. Hey, go back to those. What was the? This is that big map. Okay, let's see this one. What was that other page you were looking at that had the pictures side by side? Was pretty good too. Seemed like that.
Oh shit.
Oh, extreme zoom in on the United States of America.
That was my bad.
Well, Texas looks red.
Well,
any surprise there, guys?
Hey, check this out. New Mexico, 3.4% for Gary Johnson. Good for him there. Let's give him a round of applause.
Oh yeah, New Mexico. What is that? What is that lighter? Like is that like light blue?
Over here?
Yeah, Pennsylvania, Ohio. What is that? Why is that color lighter? It's not sealed up yet.
Oh yeah, it's because they're only like in their early 20s. This one's at 19.4% reporting, and this one is at 21.8% reporting. So
wait a second. All the New York and all those East Coastal states are all solid blue, right?
Yeah, what's up with that? Because Maine's only 3.3. They're 34. Maybe that's. I thought it had.
Well, I was hearing early talk this week that New York was going to keep their booths open longer, and it's like we're going to delay the election because of Hurricane Sandy, right? And I'm like, dude, we're trying to do a live show on the Media Speaks. I mean, you said tonight was election night. Don't be like, oh, New York didn't finish voting yet. I mean, what's going on in New Hampshire? They're a light blue, so they're getting close.
It's like I understand that you're having your issues and stuff. Yeah, New York is more than 1% reporting. So, you know what? I'll give it to them. It's like, yeah, I wish that they'd be reported in by now because, like, I don't know. D, like, you're a little bit older. I was only, 18 the last election? But I spent this time that we're spending right now with the McHenry County GOP 4 years ago.
You were in their GOP facility rooting on John McCain or what?
Yeah, I was. I'll be honest. I was a neocon when I was 18. I did a lot of like Republican work. I have awards from doing things. I shouldn't say this, but I spied on local Democratic meetings with like tape recorders. Yeah.
Well, that shows the type of tactics that these parties employ.
And like me being 18, the GOP is kind of like, he'll do it. He's excited and enthusiastic. They're like, whatever. Huh.
Imagine what they could get an exciting fanatic to do for them in other cases. Breitbart.
Yeah, right. So.
Well, where were you 4 years ago, Court?
Well, it's an interesting question.
Yeah.
There's a reason that I point out a lot of Obama's hypocrisy because I'm unfortunately one of the people that fell for his rhetoric.
Oh, no way.
And Kyle was in McCain's quarter, and you were
in an effort. As
soon as you
we both for the left-right paradigm. One couldn't be possibly worse than the other. But when you fall for the rhetoric, that's what happens. You get screwed. You get shafted. You get the New World Order agenda. You get ridiculous bills being passed like the NDAA. And it was an unfortunate thing to learn from. I thought I was voting for peace. That's what he ran as. He said day one. And I unfortunately still trusted people at that time, but God have I learned,
At that time 4 years ago, you guys, and you just did your article about a vote for Obama or Romney as a retroactive vote for Bush, right?
Yeah, that's right. And I was actually getting into that earlier, yeah.
Right.
Sorry, go ahead.
But 4 years ago, Bush had already spent 8 years, so it was like one of these guys is going to replace Bush. And basically everyone's thinking anybody but Bush. And you got kind of an old white guy, and you got this sort of young, handsome black gentleman, which he was back in 2008. He's kind of gray and kind of dark under the eyes now, and he looks more and more like Frank Marshall Davis every day. Did you guys know that? Did you guys know that Barack Obama had a nose job, rhinoplasty? Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
John McCain looks like
he is an appealing overall, if you ask me.
John McCain looks like he could use some surgery, and anything I've seen of John McCain recently in the news has been pretty wacky. But actually, just the other day, he was demanding answers about Benghazi. And I think that's just a GOP Republican thing like, hey, McCain, get out there and talk some smack about us not getting our answers on Benghazi. And D. Lake was doing reports saying, yeah, let's get some answers. And it certainly doesn't have anything to do with this ridiculous 14-minute YouTube video all about innocence of the Muslims. And it's dubbed over, ladies and gentlemen, like an old-school kung fu movie. And
you know why that is, actually? There was actually one of the actresses who was in that actually sued him because he was telling the actors and actresses
Lee
that it was
Garcia.
Yeah, he was telling them that it was a totally different movie, and then he dubbed over to change it afterwards because nobody would act in his movie.
And that guy got arrested for probation violation. According to his probation, the guy was like a fraud and a bad check writer and bouncing, be a bad guy in society. And part of his probation was not posting anything on the internet. And you're like, well, he posted this retarded movie on the internet and on YouTube, and he got locked up for violating his probation. That's why he's in jail right now. But they can't hold court hearings until after tonight, after the elections.
Hey guys, I'll be right back.
Yeah, exactly. It has to wait till afterwards.
Okay, I got you.
Right. And you were just saying, D-Lake, we were talking about who we fell for the last 4 years, and they sold it to me like, they're playing the Republicans' playbook is what the Democrats' playbook it was 4 years ago. It's anything but Obama.
Yeah, anything but Bush, anything but Obama.
Everyone
he's just like Bush.
Associated John McCain. Bush. I think Bush's policy vote remain. I was told he seemed soft on marijuana. It seemed like he wanted to end the wars. And boy, was I a fool. He kept it going. And somehow these same people that were just, mad, just like I was back then about the whole outlook the world had on the United States, the whole police state that was emerging from 9/11. People were mad about this. People wanted to end it, and that's the people who I felt that was the reason that I voted for Obama 4 years ago, and that changed. But for some reason, people have been convinced that somehow when Obama does it, what Bush has done and continues everything Bush has done, that he gets he's different in some way. That he shouldn't be held as responsible. And
hey, Court. Back then, it was. Were you glad that it wasn't? Were you glad that it wasn't Hillary Clinton before Barack? And then, well, that's pretty much an answer right
I've
there.
Never,
that little chuckle. But what about when it?
Even at the time.
Let me ask you this, Court.
At the time of, I knew a lot more about Clinton. I knew a lot about Clinton. Why not to like Clinton? And that's why they used Obama, because not too many people knew too much about him. He's kind of newer to the scene. Doesn't have as many strings attached.
Wasn't he really mysterious?
Yes, exactly. And he did work for that company that had ties to the CIA. He did intern at that company. So that's suspicious alone within itself. Something that needs to be further researched.
Did you hear, Court, back then that one of the chief investigators, one of the heads of investigation into Barack Obama, his past, who is this guy? Where's he from? Let's dig some dirt and get some information on this guy. Well, before he was the president, you know who that chief investigator was? Hillary.
Who's that?
Hillary and Bill and the Clinton family and the Clintons, and they need to have all the dirt and all the real true story on this new up and coming black senator from Illinois, right?
So hey guys,
it's sort of yeah.
I was just gonna say quickly before we continue going on. How long are we dedicating ourselves here? How long are we gonna are we going all the way until they officially declare?
Who's asking the question? You or your girlfriend?
No. I'm down to stand by mine. I want to make sure you guys can.
Where's the whip sound effect?
Okay. But are you guys able to? Are you guys able to stay and see this thing out?
Yeah, I might need a pause or a break here and there, but I took one a little while ago. I'm doing pretty good. I'm feeling it. How are you guys doing? I mean, Court, what's your...
We could have an intermission. Yeah, maybe a little, maybe like maybe not 5 minutes, maybe a couple of minute intermission coming up would be nice. But
Hey,
yeah, I'm down to stay as long. I'll stay until my internet dies.
Hey, Kyle, let me take a look at my tonight's syllabus brought to you by Anthony Court, and let's pick let's watch Obama quote end the outside influence of the lobbyists. Number 7. Can we watch that?
Yeah, we'll go into the specifics of some of those lobbyists, which I had pointed out in this article that a lot of people deny. So,
ready? Go for it.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Now, to do that, we have to recognize that we face more than a deficit of dollars right now. We face a deficit of trust. Deep and corrosive doubts about how Washington works that have been growing for years. To close that credibility gap, we have to take action on both ends of Pennsylvania Avenue. To end the outsized influence of lobbyists. To do our work openly. To give our people the government they deserve.
Oh, transparency. All those people.
That's what I came to Washington to do. That's why, for the first time in history, my administration posts on our White House visitors online. That's why we've excluded lobbyists from policy-making jobs or seats on federal boards and commissions.
That's why I haven't shown my birth certificate. That is why I have not provided any transcripts from my college education. That is why I have avoided the topic of the NDAA.
And I will not be giving
that is why
to any charity. Donald Trump.
So, no, I found the best way to do a Barack
That's
Obama
why I
impression.
Special a huge
Hey, Court, hold on. I got to hear Kyle's Barack Obama impression.
I'm going to tell you guys how to
Barack
do it.
Obama impression, Kyle Phillips.
And then I want you guys... you
give it a try?
The way that you do a Barack Obama is you talk in short spurts. You make those spurts seem important. You make them seem like you're adding up to something. This is how you do a Barack Obama impression. Go ahead, you guys try. Let's hear your Barack Obamas. D-Lake.
Got to put my blue hat on for this.
Put on your thinking cap.
I am Barack Obama. All right? And I promise you the world. And also, you can hope all you want. And I'll change something. And also, I like unicorns and rainbows and the crowd's going wild. And I promise, and I'll solemnly swear that I love you, niggas!
No, that was to me more of a Mitch Hedberg doing Barack Obama, but not bad. All right, Court.
I can't do it!
Court, let's hear your Obama.
Well, I'd like to convey to the folks out there in the 57 states that justice has been done and that we dug up the body of Osama bin Laden and pretended to throw it in the ocean to gain credit for bin Laden's death. So that's why I deserve another 4 years. Yeah, that's all I got for you.
Hey, let me ask you guys this, though. When Barack or even Biden promises that they are going to bring the perpetrators to justice, when they say we're going to track down the perpetrators and bring them to justice and we won't tolerate violence, anytime that these guys in the debates or anytime that Barack says that he's going to bring someone to justice, does that mean that they're going to be in a court of law, or that they are going to be assassinated? And is bringing someone to justice a euphemism for killing them? Court?
Most definitely, and just like Anwar al-Awlaki, as an example, the first person that fell victim, the first American citizen that he openly assassinated, and that just goes to show. I mean, I don't know if you guys have been watching that show Homeland at all, but with Claire Danes.
I saw a preview of it. I haven't watched the show yet.
But they really bring a lot of that propaganda that.
Hey Kyle, we're
fighting these terrorists.
Hey, hold up a second. Hey Kyle, put on some pictures of that Homeland show, right? Or post, do what you're doing on the post, and then put up some pictures of this new show, Homeland. And because Court and I actually had a conversation about this, I think it was last night, right? And I've never seen the show. I've heard that there's a show called Homeland, and the word Homeland, ladies and gentlemen, that is not an American word, and it should not be in our vocabulary.
Now we have only 2 minutes.
You said you had information about an attack.
I have information.
Prove it.
The guards are coming.
We're out of time.
Oh no!
Last night at 2300, 2 UH-60 Black Hawk gunships lit the target with over 8,000 rounds. During the sweep, one of the Deltas found something else.
I'm an American.
But he's brainwashed by Al Qaeda.
Nicholas Brody, MIA since early
turning
2005.
Whoa! Kyle Phillips, put it on mute and let Anthony do the talk over.
Oh, okay. So this guy's a returning veteran. Oh, hello. Yeah, I came back from Iraq. Hello, everybody. I'm not a terrorist. I'm not a terrorist at all. Yeah, I love the Patriot Act.
Was that Johnny Cage?
Oh wait,
like
Johnny Cage.
Is that Johnny Cage?
This guy,
Mortal Kombat guy.
They basically justify making returning veterans appear as domestic terrorists because this guy has a handler. Here's his handler from the Al Qaeda operative where he was at war, prisoner of war, and they basically justify the Patriot Act going after this guy to protect us from a huge attack. Now, the fact that they can make Al Qaeda seem like they have the capability to completely brainwash someone with the effects of MK Ultra-like power is just ridiculous.
Is that Steven Spielberg?
I knew.
Yeah, they have amazing abilities, right, on the show. Like Al Qaeda's like super sophisticated, and they have all the latest technology, and they can conduct massive terrorist plots from the inside of caves, right, with all their massive technology.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. And I knew a lot of returning veterans and a lot of guys that were actually out defusing bombs in the field, and a lot of them told me that they're pretty uneducated. I mean, I'm not saying all of them are uneducated, but when it comes to manufacturing and technology, they're pretty behind. So they in the show, they make it seem otherwise. They have all these resources and all this technology, like they've been buying it from the United States, or that
Wait a second.
like they have these capabilities.
Yeah, where do they get all that fancy technology? They were building it. Where were they building it? In Iran's underground bases, and that's why we need to invade tomorrow, or what?
And the whole time,
on this Homeland show, I mean, which sounds like it's written by the CIA and the Pentagon themselves, but
oh, definitely.
Are these enemies and terrorists and all those guys with towels on their head? Are they from a specific country or some sort of fictional country? Or?
Well, they try to tie it to certain factions in Lebanon and certain the overall Al Qaeda faction and like Hamas, things like that, of course. And they totally justify the police state into saying that, it's to protect you. Look at this big attack that we're unfolding because we're letting these terrorists run rampant.
Yeah, they're running rampant.
They basically catch this guy. The guy. He actually tries to suicide vest the vice president, but at the last minute. Okay.
Yeah, you're just sort of breaking up a little bit there.
What'd you say?
Sorry.
Okay.
You
no, it's
were
all right.
sort of
But
breaking
at
up there.
the last minute.
Go ahead.
At the last minute, he pulls out of the suicide attack, and then the CIA discovers that he is brainwashed by Al Qaeda. So they basically make him a CIA agent and start following him and enabling him further. Like, that's a good thing. And that's sort of the track record. They try to make him a double agent, and I think it's sort of to cover their tracks because a lot of them are false flag attacks. So, when it comes out that they were enabling certain terrorists, that it was for your protection so we could unfold the larger attack. That's all it was.
Right.
And it totally brings a lot of propaganda to the table. It does show them monitoring the terrorists through
3%?
things.
Hey, Court, let me stop you there, Court. But excellent in-depth insights into that show, Homeland. And I've never seen it, but you've seen an episode or two, and Kyle's seen the trailer that we just watched a little bit of. And it sounds kind of intriguing, like to see like what's really going on. But ladies and gentlemen, if I was to watch that show, I'd watch it keeping in mind that it's total propaganda. But
complete and utter.
If you guys are taking a look at the map here that Kyle's bringing up here for us, Mitt Romney 50%, Barack Obama 48%. I noticed in a chart that you brought up in one state, maybe it was New Mexico, Gary Johnson actually had 3%. And you also might notice, I don't know why Florida is still gray, and Virginia, North Carolina, Ohio are still gray, but obviously you can tell that the colors are moving from east to west, as that is the way that the world turns, and that's why we have different time zones. And just like Court and I are here in California, where according to my clock here, Pacific Standard Time would be 7:39, which means it would be
it's actually 3:30 yesterday here.
9:39. Wait. Hey,
we're
live on Google Hangout. We're live on Google Hangout for themediaspeaks.com. We could very well just as well be on the time zone that Phillips just mentioned there. We could be in Japan, but no, Kyle, let's be serious. You're where are you? Why don't you use your mouse on that screen to scroll over the state that you are in right now?
I'm in Illinois. I'm right up. I'm about an hour away from Chicago.
Where Barack Obama dominated, huh?
Yeah, let's not talk about
near the epicenter of corruption.
See that little?
That is, he was. I mean, that's where he's from, correct?
Yes, he is. Well, he's.
I mean, that's
from Indonesia or something.
Well.
But
I mean, where he's from since about 2000-ish, right?
Yeah, since about like 99, 2000, he's from Illinois. That's where his political career started. But he's up in Chicago, which the rest of the state refers to as shit. Because no matter how we vote in Illinois, because most of the rest of the state of Illinois is Republican, but it doesn't matter because Chicago is so condensed that they take up the mass majority of vote. They get the electoral vote.
It's just like LA with California.
The rest of what we say doesn't really matter because
I mean, you have to.
Chicago.
And up there, they have to deal with Rahm Emanuel, isn't that right?
Oh God!
Rahm Emanuel, who famously said, "Never let a good crisis go to waste." In other words, when some messed up something happens, you got to get in there and profit off that. Kind of like the Batman shootings back in July when Barack actually went and visited some of those victims in the hospital. And when he came out to talk about it, and it's a really funny video near the end when a fly is buzzing in his face for like almost 5-10 minutes. I should remix that. It's hilarious.
You should slow it down and make it look like he's high.
You know what? Do you like right when you said fly buzzing my face? A fly literally buzzed near my face.
That's what you get for voting Obama back in 2008. But
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
what you get, Court.
hey,
Hey,
he was.
you know
Hey, Court, hold on. Let me just say this to your defense. Is
I
that
thought
he
we'd
was,
be out of Afghanistan because of it by now, but
he was the younger looking charismatic guy with giant crowds. Like I was looking into Ron Paul back in 2008, and you know I went on the news and I was looking at I was looking at mainstream media, and the first time I saw Barack, he's in front of 10,000, 20,000 people. I'm like, who is this guy? And everything he was saying when he's on the all his rhetoric on the campaign trail, like you were saying the other night, your in-laws or your family friends were saying that, yeah, we like what he says. Hey, doesn't what he says sound good? And I mean, I'm like, but my opinion.
yeah, him and Romney, they were saying.
But back in 2008, my opinion of Obama was he was talking loud, but kind of saying nothing. He just sounded like a cheerleader.
No, I want to point out a good point there that you said that most of the, like you said when Obama came out of the stage, you're like, what, who's this guy? You'd never heard of him?
It came out of nowhere.
Less than an,
That's how he got elected.
I live less than an hour away from Obama's home, like his house, and I had never heard of him either. Nobody had. He was a nobody. Like, he was like, even like,
I thought he was a community organizer. He never passed out flyers or tried to organize anything in your local community.
I
like
had
an hour
never
away.
heard of him until he ran for president. And that's most people, not just me. That is like majority of people out here had never heard of him until he ran for president.
Is that because you're
Well, it's
white
because-
and it's a racial issue, or?
Well, think about his whole tie. Just think about his whole tie to that CIA front that he interned for. He could very well be a CIA puppet. That's maybe why we don't know a lot about his past.
Well, absolutely.
And why
like
people think, why people,
like people, his parents.
why people come to those conclusions.
His parents
Yeah.
were CIA operatives. That's been proven. That his mom and dad were both CIA operatives. So
Well, he came on a CIA. His supposed father came here on a CIA asset from Kenya. I mean, just like from Tom Mboya, their former leader, who had deep ties to the CIA at the time before his overthrow and before they killed him, actually. But that just goes to show some of the bloody history tied to the people that they're saying is his father. I believe it goes even deeper. When you follow the past, it just doesn't all add up. You think you would know a lot more about this gentleman, especially being at the stature he had with in charge of the Harvard law review? I can't remember the name of it. But you
Harvard
think
Communist, something like that. I forget.
Yeah, supposedly he was. I never heard of a Senator Obama when he voted for all this stuff he said he voted for before at all. I mean,
he spent more days campaigning than he did ever sitting in-house in Senate. Like, he served less time as a senator as he did as a senator campaigning for president.
As a president, he's played over 100 rounds of golf, and he's missed over 50% of his PDBs, presidential daily briefings. Okay, missing his presidential daily briefings. Okay, you're saying a vote
exactly.
Court, you said a vote for either one of these guys is a retroactive vote for Bush. But when I was looking that up,
that's right.
I happen to know that Bush was kind of anal retentive about sitting down with his presidential daily briefing researchers and reviewers, and actually spending like sometimes even more than the allotted time. I don't know if that's because he was just like coked out of his brain and wanted to keep going or whatever, but they said that he would spend hours in those meetings and trying to figure out what was going on. And I mean, I don't know why, or if he just didn't get it, or if he wanted to know more.
Well, that might be a small difference.
But Obama's missing them all. Hey, you guys, I'm sorry I hadn't brought all that up.
That's a small difference.
Let me take it in this
You're
direction.
right. You're completely right. And think about this. Think about one thing. Let me just say one thing. You're right about the golf. He has played more golf rounds. He has He's ordered more drone attacks. He's had more innocent people.
I just read the other day conservatively over 250.
And people were up in arms. People were up in arms over this same issue before, and suddenly it has disappeared. And go ahead and continue with what you were saying. I just wanted to make that point. He's a worse version of Bush, dare I say. He's a worse Bush.
Yeah.
And that's sort of what I wanted to convey in my article, because he also passed the NDAA with indefinite detention for detainees and lied about it as well. And they let him off so softly, just like this person was arguing with me on Facebook earlier, like patting him on the back, like, oh, well, he's doing everything he can. But it's all the same thing Bush did. So they can't deny that. And you put them in a corner with that, and they got nothing else to say, but you're a racist. So
I was just about to go to Kyle to see if we could go to another page and see what another electoral coverage channel is saying. But if we take a look at the chart, and if anyone's viewing or tuning in right now, we're looking at Mitt Romney kind of surging here with 170 electoral and Barack Obama 148 with 270 electoral votes to win. So it seems like we almost have, mathematically we're about almost halfway through, or what are we looking at here? I mean, looking at that color chart, it looks like...
Well, it's more than halfway now. I would say this is probably going to be close to the outcome, just like we said with the CBS accidental posting. It's either going to be that or a landslide victory.
Hey,
could even...
I don't know. I've changed hats a couple of times already, haven't I? I mean, during this live coverage.
Well, they want it to be neck and neck. They want you to think it's a neck and neck up and all the way, so that you accept the fact in the end. And you know what? I was actually watching. I hate to admit this, but I was watching that show, not The View, but The Chew, right, on the Food Network, right? And
never heard of it.
The guy, that chef Mario or whatever, he was saying that he has an election party every 4 years, and they drink until they can accept the results. They drink as much alcohol as they can until they can accept the outcome. And I think that's what we should do here in the Media Speaks.
Hey, I saw a report that Budweiser was sponsoring the presidential debates, and all the reporters were going into the they had like a Budweiser setup, and it's like, hey, come get some free Budweiser, and they're all drinking Budweiser and getting tipsy before the debates and stuff. So I don't really feel bad if I'm having a brewski here during this MediaSpeaks.com live coverage of election night. And
well, we're all going to have to be drunk to accept these results. That's just a given. So
yeah. I mean,
makes you have to pee a lot, though. I apologize, guys. If either you need a pee break, or if you got,
you know what?
We don't have advertisers.
Yeah, I'm going to
so
go take a little break here myself. So I'm going to pass the torch on to you guys. Okay, I'll be right back.
Oh, well, that's great. Thanks, Court. Because as soon as Kyle said anyone's got to, use the restroom, I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds like a good idea. And then my bladder and my other parts were like, yes, exactly. Let's do that.
You'll get your shot.
Yeah.
So here, I got a topic for us while Court is gone. Obama, it was a big thing when he first got into office that he would always sit. Yeah.
I was trying to say I need a minute, bro. Can you put on a cool video and let's talk about what you were thinking about when I get back in like a minute.
Yeah, I'll find a cool video for
put something good on.
Something good. So they leave the show to me and they expect something good to come on. All right. Well, let's see what we have here. Let's look up some Obama remixes. I don't know if anybody's ever watched these. Oh, I know what I want to watch. Here we go. Obama versus Romney, epic rap battle. If you haven't seen this, it's hilarious.
YouTube is sort of a great equalizer.
Definitely can't monetize this now, whatever.
Early stage entrepreneurs and small to mid-sized companies.
We've really worked with YouTube, looked at
Mitt Romney! What the
I'm not gonna let this battle be dictated by facts. I'm rich! I've got fat stacks and super PACs. We all know what went down in that 2008 election. You're a decent politician with a winning complexion. You're all Barack and no Blake, but no change, and we're all still hoping.
Have you seen this,
Shut
G-Leg?
your mouth like Guantanamo Bay, they're both open. You're from the Windy City where you're looking pretty with your blowhards, but come January, you'll be left evicted and with no job. Wall rhymes stronger than my jawline when I spit a phrase.
You ever see that, D-Leg?
Yeah, I've seen that one. It's awesome.
It's pretty funny. I like how Abe Lincoln comes in at the end and kind of says, like, what we push more than anything is, like...
Have you seen epic rap battle Abe Lincoln versus Chuck Norris?
That's another good one. Like, all the Abe Lincoln ones are fantastic.
I am Chuck fucking Norris!
And, like, you know, those guys don't have much more of a setup than we do. Like, if you look like if they're like...
Some green screen and some decent production, and I've seen their behind the scenes. It's pretty good. Play some more for people.
It's a pretty good, like...
If anyone hasn't seen it, it's really good. Epic rap battle, Kyle.
Mission days, you see the silver spoon, this the mass out of debt. Took you 4 years to drop unemployment down below 8%. You feel that, Barry? You're old news. Everyone's
Barry?
having doubts, and your raps are as weak as this economy that you've done nothing about. Call me a vicious businessman, cause Romney's stealing this race. I'll go Bay Capital on your donkey-ass restructured your face.
Well, they say your father was a great man. You must be what's
That's a
left.
great
Need to stop
Obama.
hating on gays. Let them teach you how to dress. You got the
Way
mama
better than my
jeans
impression, right?
and a Mr. Fantastic face. So rich and white, it's like I'm running against a cheesecake.
He's like a
Republicans
gangster,
need a
Obama.
puppet, and you big. Got their hands so far up your rear, call you Mitt. I'm the head of state. You're like a head of cabbage. About to get smacked by my stimulus package. You're a bad man with no chance. You can't.
Well, here, let's take a minute here and look at where the numbers are. Oh, it looks like it's changed.
Give us your report. Tell us what you're looking at.
171 electoral for Mitt Romney. Barack Obama is down to 148. So what did we say they needed? 270 takes it, right?
270 wins Electoral College.
270, so 100 more. We're 2/3 through. Gary Johnson is up. Gary Johnson is at 0.9, which is better than he was doing.
0 electoral, but he's got a lot of he's got over 600,000 the popular vote there.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. That's
some popularity.
That's better than what is? I wonder what the record is.
The third party record?
Yeah,
Ross Perot.
Is it? Yes. Well, that's what I figured it would be. What was
Pretty
he
sure
at?
there might be something older that I'm not aware of, but in my lifetime, Ross Perot, right? Yeah, there he is.
What did he get? Do you know?
Like 17%, right?
Yeah, something like that, right?
And just think of what an independent candidate these days could achieve if they got more exposure. If Ron Paul were to run as a third party with Gary Johnson or with Jesse Ventura, like Jesse Ventura was saying, I mean, I think they could achieve higher than 17%.
Best bounce back from a piss ever, right there, by the way. But no, you're absolutely right, Court. So,
yeah, you know what?
Go ahead, Court.
I actually just heard that
show, dude.
Sorry, go ahead.
An independent senator from Maine, actually, independent Angus King wins the three-way Maine Senate race, which is good for the independents in this race.
Yeah,
some pretty big news right there.
Oh yeah, wins three-way Maine Senate race. Here, let's look at that. I'm pulling it up real quick.
So
Angus,
that's a good win for us there. That's some good news.
Who was he running as? What was he running?
I guess he was it was a former governor. I'm not sure off the top of my head. Let's look that up. It just says independent on here. Yeah.
Did you guys hear anything about if Romney gets elected and then it'll be the first time in like a long time since like the first Bush that there was like a super Republican Congress and like everyone's Republicly aligned with the president and it's like a Republican takeover of I mean they just have the majority. You know what I mean?
Well, think of how it was. Obama had the White House with authority, still didn't pursue it. Yeah.
Court, start over, man. Your thing's cutting out.
You want Robotronic?
Yeah, you went all robot. We couldn't understand anything you just said. Give it another try.
Am I back? Am I?
Oh man, try the mic only feed without the video, because Kyle's got this. Kyle, put something up on screen and then let Kyle go to audio only. Court, go to audio there so we can hear what he was going to say.
Well, here's that independent race. Angus King wins three-way race as an independent, but as he was saying, it doesn't really tell you what party he was running for.
Well, you know what? It could just be it could just be the American Independent Party. I'm thinking.
Oh right, Independent Party.
It might be. Court, it sounds like we can hear you, so continue what you were saying before.
That's a sick ass picture.
Where was
of the
I?
Predator.
I can't remember exactly what I was.
That's a. Put that on my page. That Predator picture.
Well, you know what I was saying about Angus King. I mean, this just goes to show that an independent with good support can win. I mean, it is possible, and we're fed this garbage years. Every 4 years that we have to vote either side that they propose. These blue and red states they're showing, and we have evidence that a third party candidate can win, and if we can do it in the Senate, we can do it in Minnesota. We can do it. We can do it for president. By God.
Well, going back to something that I was mentioning earlier about this presidential debate commission that every year they like raise the. They're like, Gary Johnson's approaching the limit to get into the debates. So, we're just gonna vote, so-called vote to raise the limit. So all of a sudden, we're on. You need 5% or 7% to get on the ballot. Gary Johnson's got 8%. Okay, we just changed the rules and now you need 15%.
Hey guys, am I coming through? Can you hear me?
Yeah. What do you got to say about that?
Oh man, I just got the picture for you too. Sorry. Okay.
Is that Court's InfoWars?
You on my Facebook?
Yeah. That's what I was gonna use while he was.
That's my InfoWars reporter contest picture. Yeah.
That's how we met. Props to InfoWars.
Is that your InfoWars face?
Yeah. No.
You got
Apparently there was a conspiracy. I wasn't real. Apparently, I'm a reptoid, reptilian. So
you look a little reptilian in that picture. It looks like you were. It looks like you were morphing, and. Sometimes your video feed, Court, it kind of sounds like you are morphing, so we're not entirely sure what's going on there. You could be a reptoid. Kyle.
Yeah.
Kyle, you seem a little more human to me. Hey, there's Forant.
Yeah, I'm pretty human. There is Forant.
Hey, Kyle, give our viewers, if we have any right now, or if anyone's tuning into this later, skip into this part, which is the best part, but give us a little... Because we're like 2 hours in, I think. If someone's skipping to the 2 hour mark right now, Kyle's going to give you a little background information about this Dan Forant guy that we all talk about sometimes.
I'm going to give... It's up to me to give the lowdown on D Forant.
I mean, what's the background story on that D Forant for Prez guy? He was trying to be D Forant for Vice Prez.
Yeah. Gather round, children, for the story of Daniel Forant.
Daniel Forant.
And his book, Holy Autism.
And if you have a cerveza, open one right now. That'd be a beer.
If you have a beer, or as they call it in Mexico, a cerveza, now's a good time to open it.
Yeah, who isn't drinking right now? I mean, it's election. I mean, everybody's going to be pissed off tonight. So, yeah.
Hey, Mitt Romney are having a beer together right now.
Hey, speaking of that, if we're doing a live show where we're all kind of getting our drink on, what's wrong with that? When all you other people that don't pay attention to this stuff year-round like we do go every Sunday to the stadium and drink until you're drunk and fall down and pass out. And
this is our sports. This is what we have.
And the next day, that's all you can talk about is the coach and the offensive line and the referees and the defense messed up, or what's his name was amazing when he caught that amazing pass or interception and stuff. And we're talking about what's going on in the news and the presidency, and that's why we're broadcasting live tonight on election night for themediaspeaks.com. I encourage you to check out our website. Kyle Phillips, what's our website? What's that amazing site that you got us on there? What's it called?
Are you talking about themediaspeaks.com, the best freaking website out there, with Anthony Quart's headlining article, voting for Obama Romney is retroactive vote for Bush?
Sweet meme. There's D Lake right there.
That's right.
Look at that. How do you even do that? How do you even get like that sliding bar?
I don't know.
That must be really hard to do. Oh,
you
look,
like that? You like that cool sliding bar with all the information and all the headlines and everyone's cool pictures on there and stuff? Like, who's that guy now? Oh, Sabretooth.
Sabretooth, Tiger. Uh-oh.
Primo flavor.
Wolverine's brother, Sabretooth.
What a fantastic website. But anyways, what made this website possible?
Hey, Donald Trump, what's he doing on that website? We need to click into that article immediately.
What really brought us together?
Hey, there's the Media Speaks 4340.
Oh yeah, the 4340.
What really brought us together, Kyle? Why don't you tell people what really brought us together, and maybe you could put up some pictures at the same time or something, or I don't know.
What really brought us together was a gentleman who was very dedicated to the cause, very dedicated to stopping globalists, and his name was Daniel Forent, who you can see some pictures of some thumbnails of him right here. Daniel Forent
the only existing thumbnails.
Yeah, once you click them, it's never there. Everything of him ever existing is deleted except for an obituary and like a LinkedIn profile. But Daniel Forent was in the InfoWars reporter contest with us. He made it to the top 20. All of us were in contact with him individually, separate from each other. We had all made contact and talked with him. And he seemed like a really cool guy. He was somebody I was considering asking to come to the Media Speaks at the same time that I found these two gentlemen. We were thinking about working with this guy, but then it turned out that he was batshit crazy.
Yeah. Completely out of his mind.
Like, this dude is like a paranoid schizophrenic. Like,
and he was reaching his tentacles out to everyone. That's how we all had all our emails and was in contact with us. And actually in his own kind of peculiar way. And he did have, halfway decent reports for the most part. And he found some good YouTube videos that he incorporated into his reports and whatnot. But, watching those reports, I'm like, well, this guy's pretty good. And he was really prolific in the beginning of the contest. And I'm like, I need to have more videos than this guy because he was putting out a lot of stuff pretty quick there in the beginning.
Yeah, it was a competition, so yeah.
And he was getting in touch with us, so it's like, and he was kind of giving us all little baby back massages, talking about, oh, I really love your report. Hey, you're a really good reporter. And we're like, okay, well, thank you very much, sir, for the compliment. I'll go check out your video. Hey, your videos are pretty good too. And the next thing you know, you guys are like, kind of like, oh yeah, I like you too. Oh yeah, this is great.
It's like a relationship.
But then
it's good to make friends.
So we were all making friends. We were networking during the contest, and we thought that was a good, healthy thing. But then, Kyle, what happened then?
Well, then Daniel Forent lost his fucking mind. I had already taken
chronologically though, in terms of the contest.
Well, we had all entered the contest. We were down. I think it was for all of us probably around like the first round of like people who actually got put on the website. We're all starting to talk, like D Lake said, and working together, commenting on each other's stuff. Daniel Forent was all over the place. By the time we made it to the top 20, we were all talking quite a bit, and we were, you are typing extremely loud, sir.
Oh, sorry.
Who is that? I thought that was you, Kyle. I'm sorry.
No, that was me.
No,
okay,
it's all
Court,
good.
yeah, that's loud.
That was me.
Bro. Move the
Man,
mic a little
I'm
away
posting
from you.
I'm posting it on the website, the Media Speaks Live, just so for all the people going on.
But
well, it sounds like it makes it sound like we're in like a hustle bustle newsroom.
Yeah,
but
we are the Media Speaks. God damn it!
That's what happens. You hear a lot of loud typewriting. But Kyle, or Court, try to keep that typewriting down. And Kyle, please continue.
Sorry, that was very entertaining for me. We were all in contact with Daniel Forens, and it made it to the point where we were at the top 20 of the InfoWars contest, and he had made it too. And that's about the time that I met Court, and we started working together. And then a little bit after that, we met you, D-Lake, and we started talking to you.
Well, the part that I was thinking about is how Forant put out, or he sent us all an email of a video that he did going off about how he had tinted window vans driving outside his apartment. Strange phone calls from guys named, quote, Colombia. And that's all I can tell you. And drones were flying outside his house that he failed to videotape, even though he had all this video equipment in his house, apparently, to make his reports.
And he said they did a formation. He even described the formation of the drones that they made, like, in unison.
But not enough time to grab his camera.
By the way,
anyways.
Here he is. Look out.
Can I just make a comment really quick that, like, this entire time, and I know this, now I might be getting a little bit paranoid, but this entire time, we've had one viewer, right? And for a good portion of the time, we also had two viewers for, like, a solid, 45 minutes. And right as we started talking about Daniel Forant, we went down to 0 viewers.
Maybe it was him and his uncle that were trying to contact us.
Yeah.
Okay. So
All right, anyways,
maybe us talking, reliving the contest and talking about Daniel Forant. It's not a good election night topic. Let's switch back to the. Okay, that was kind of an interlude, fun thing for us to talk about because that's kind of how we met, and it's a great.
It was, and let me just say I wasn't able to talk too much about it, but. I was reaching out to people in a way like Dan Forant was, but not as maliciously and crazily, because I knew there could only be one winner out of this contest, and I didn't want to give up this fight against tyranny, and I felt that all the people involved would feel the same way, and that we could continue on in a fashion to expose the criminals that are in control of our government and the agenda, things like Agenda 21 and things like the New World Order, So why not utilize our passion and create a real effort to, execute that passion? I felt that
and Forant's early reports, Anthony Court, didn't they kind of seem like we were on the same page with that guy? But then, he got really nuts. And then he sent another video even after the one that I was describing earlier, where it was really paranoid and he was blaming everything on Alex Jones and the contest itself. And I'm like, dude, I've been in this contest putting out more videos than you, and I haven't experienced any high strangeness that you say you're experiencing without really any proof except for putting your then he came out for like a day and a half with those eyeball videos that disappeared within one day, and I put out a report that was anti-InfoWars, which was what he was calling himself at that time, versus myself, D-Lake for Prez, and I'm like, dude, someone's got to put this guy in his place, and it's going to be me. And I'm glad you guys agreed with those videos and liked them and everything or whatever. But that's how we met. Kyle, why don't you give us... Oh, wait a sec. I got to switch fucking hats. What's going on here? 229?
You got the wrong hat on, Broham. It's 229 Barack Obama to Mitt Romney 190 as of now.
Look at that huge jump. Look at that huge jump right there. And
you guys, we're broadcasting live, and that was a gigantic jump. Court, talk about the jump.
Well, like I said before, they're going to have it neck and neck. I'm sure there'll still be enough room for Romney to jump back a little bit, just to kind of play with people's heads per se. It's sort of like when you're watching a movie and the plot's unfolding, and you've seen so many movies, you're trying to guess what's going to happen, right? but it could go either way, and that's what they want.
Court,
they want that unpredictability. Sorry.
Court, let me interrupt you. I'm sorry. I got to interrupt you because I'm looking at the chart that Kyle's got pulled up here. And Court, I'm sorry, Kyle, will you scroll over to the right-hand side of the screen? Okay, look. The entire eastern seaboard that just got hit by the hurricane, apparently Barack did such a great job handling the hurricane that the entire eastern seaboard and big states like Maine that were rooting Ron Paul and all that battle with Mitt Romney back in the day, well, they all decided to go Obama. Obama just had a huge surge. D-Lake just switched to the blue hat. I got my Obama cup right here. Whoever wins, I'm going to pour beer into one of these cups. But at this time, they are both empty cups. Like, I can make this chair an empty chair like Clint Eastwood, okay, ladies and gentlemen? And these are empty cups because they both contain nothing. But I'm wearing my blue hat, and Obama just took a giant surge lead. It looks like he got the state of Washington. Hey, guys, we're starting to colorize the western.
They're at point one
Pacifics.
recording though. That's nothing.
We're at 8:13 Pacific time, and we're starting to color in on the Google map here. The western seaboard, Colorado's got a mid shade. Montana, those other Idaho, Nevada are mid shaded. They're mid shaded red. Colorado, New Mexico, both looking blue. Court, give me your synopsis of this map that we're looking at and this giant Obama surge right now. Talk about that, and also talk about the fact that California is still white in color on that chart. Court.
Oh, okay. Well, just like you said, I mean, the eastern seaboard there, they are all led to believe that he's handled this well when there are numerous reports of deaths and people digging through garbage to eat food. So that just goes to show people...
gigantic gas lines, people arrested for trying to bring gas back into the state, other stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. The lines are huge, and they got people there, a minor presence. But I think it's just as bad as Katrina, almost. Into the effect that things like that are happening. Maybe not as bad, but looters were, running amok, and there were all those posts on Twitter saying, "Hey, let's go riot," all that garbage. And I think they're trying to, sorry, I don't know what you were going to say there. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I thought for a second if we should steer topics away into rioting and if there's going to be any riots tonight. I'm starting to kind of doubt it, and I've been doubting it pretty much all along. But continue with what you were saying, please, Anthony Court.
Okay, well, I just think they're building it up to be sort of in that predictable realm that you would think that, because they glorified him in this hurricane event. He put his election on hold to come and talk in front of a bunch of people and do nothing, essentially. They play off that. They play off certain speculations, I would say, to fall in that predictable realm so that we fall for whoever the victor is in this election. And like I said a couple of weeks ago when you asked me, I do think it is going to unfortunately be Obama again. Once it hits California, it's obviously, and the way we have it set up in California
is going to be Obama, isn't it? And then
obviously, look at the election. Look at the election in the primaries. I mean, it was completely blue all the way around. How can time and time again Feinstein and Boxer get reelected? It's just ridiculous. And you know what the problem is?
Schwarzenegger.
It's the registration of Democrats in LA County. That's a huge problem. And if they keep letting things like pass, like people being able to vote without an ID, it's just, they're going to skew the numbers. They have things like electronic voting, which is just ridiculous. I mean,
do we know how Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands voted yet? I don't know. I'm pretty sure Obama's got Hawaii. It looks like he's going to get Oregon, Washington, and California. He's got the entire eastern seaboard. He just took a gigantic leap. Are we looking at another 4 years of Obama? earlier today on Judge Report, they had a picture of Obama crying with tears streaming down his face, and it said 4 more tears. I was actually at work. I only had time to read the headline, and I feel like one of those people that only read the headlines. But normally I try to
It's ridiculous.
have a little bit of time or make up the time later in the afternoon when it comes time to read those articles. Ladies and gentlemen, D. Lake reads articles. I know Anthony Court does. I know Kyle Phillips does. Not only do we read articles, we write articles, and we put out videos and video reports. We kick ass. We're at themediaspeaks.com. Check us out. Follow us.
Yeah.
On Twitter, like us on Facebook, search us on Facebook, The Media Speaks, right, guys?
Yeah, definitely, man.
Yes.
Tell your friends. I mean, it's all about the message. We're not here begging for your money yet. I mean, just kidding. But we want the message to get out there. We want people to know the real corrupt facts about this elite that controls our government and how we've been lied to time and time again and how they use this left-right paradigm against the American people all the way around, rich, poor, whatever. So help us in our fight. I mean, share these articles. Share them on Facebook. You know, spread the word. Even write your own articles. I mean, spread the information as long as you quote for, you know, properly cite from my article. I have no problem with that. Share the videos. I don't care.
If there's and if there's something that you think that maybe you like the way that we talk, or something like that, or maybe there's something that you want us to talk about or you wish we would talk more about, why don't you send us show tips? I mean, hey Kyle, can we get a show tips at themediaspeaks.com email address? I know other people got that.
Yeah, we can.
All right,
definitely
so that's
set
something that we're working on, and we're always working on improving the website and improving on our method of bringing you information. Why do you think we're doing a Google Live Hangout? Are you doing any Google Live Hangouts? Are you making any reports? Are you drinking beers on election night, or only on you know, this is our Super Bowl, ladies and gentlemen. D-Lake, I came equipped with a red hat and a blue hat, and I'm going to switch back and forth because I'm just playing both sides of the fence. And whoever wins, man, I'm just going to be on his team, and that's how I roll. I got 2 cups here, and whoever wins, I'm going to drink a beer out of one of these cups tonight. And we're keeping the show going. And Kyle, hey, can we see some results on a different news station's results and compare and see if they have 234 to 200? It looks like Romney is getting a few more there, electoral college votes. I got a feeling that electoral college is going to be close all night because there was states in the United States there that were light shaded red and light shaded blue, and certain states, isn't it right that they have more weight? Doesn't California have a lot of weight in the electoral college vote? Isn't that right?
Or population.
Yeah.
Well, you know, to be
one of the most populated states in the.
Well, to be honest, we should get more. And if you ask me, I think the whole electoral college system is a piece of garbage. And I actually, there was a petition going around saying that the popular vote should decide everything.
Wait, hold up, dude.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Look at that page. Who's that?
Look at that.
Oh, on Fox News. Hey, everybody, right now, Kyle, the technician's got us so that we can see these different web pages.
Start drinking, everybody.
And this is a live show. Okay, Fox News has it. Overwhelming sweep. They got a check mark as winner. They have Fox News has a winner check mark already for Obama.
I told you.
Go to F&F News, Fox News. They're calling it for. The Fox News. Has already got a check mark next to Obama's name with 275. Now go back to Google and see what Google's got.
Google's still at the same right there.
You said Google's a little. No, California just turned blue.
Yep, of course, just like we said.
California just turned blue. Nevada and Montana looking red. Colorado looking blue. But Fox News is already like. Fox News is like 50 or 60 electoral votes wrong in both directions according to Google. And Ron Paul 5% in Utah.
Nice.
Hey, good. You know what? That gives me a little hope. I don't know about you. I mean, that's the whole.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you guys familiar with live shows? We are live.
No, I came in here to make sure that you knew.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, just like I was saying earlier, guys, another 4 years of this journey. I don't know if this country is going to be going on. I don't think this country is going to be on a scale. What was that?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. My bad.
No, I just don't think this country's going to be able to last. All this Federal Reserve garbage. We reappointed Bernanke, QE3 Unlimited. Our credit rating's been downgraded. How could the people re-elect this criminal scumbag? I just don't get it. He let Corzine off. He stole over $1.2 billion. And half the fucking country's blue. Excuse my language.
Kyle, go to CBS's results. I want to see if we got a 43-40. Hey, number 5.
See, CBS isn't showing the same thing. I'm trying to find. That's not what I'm looking for. Here, let me try.
Fox News already announced it for winter, but all these other stations are still like playing it like it's tight. It's crazy. Like we're going to like 3-4 different fucking sources, and they're all totally different.
Well, we know. Oh, here we go. 274. And is that what they said? Yeah, 275, 274. Well, that's what he needed to win was 270. So it's Obama.
Yep, I knew it, man. Just like I said in the last thing, I just knew they have their globalist puppet in place, and people have been accepting the amount of tyranny that this person has been dishing out. So why not keep him on? Because they're going to go full out against our civil rights. Goodbye, Constitution. Goodbye, civil rights. That's all I have to say.
That's I'm disappointed. I'm waiting because Google has the best layout for this. Where
so
Gary Johnson.
Okay, get this, guys. Get this, guys. Obama and Jay-Z are going to have a concert in his name.
I'm going to look at YouTube politics because they're probably going to have the acceptance speech and shit.
God, yes. I can't believe it, guys. I told you.
That's what I expected.
Yeah, I knew you knew.
Wait, where are we at? What hat? Am I wearing the right hat?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's Obama. Obama.
Hey, number 5. Hey, 5. Hey, you guys! I got a special guest on audio here, poking his head in. My friend, number 5.
Number 5?
What's up, number 5?
What's going on?
5. Everything. 5. Things are switching towards Obama. Like Fox News has already got a check mark next to his name, winner. Next to his name, Fox News is already announcing Obama winner.
Oh yeah. Are they jumping the shark a little bit or what?
They're jumping the shark.
No, it's to the point.
Fox News 275 to 203, but yet Google is still 252 to 200. Oh, maybe Fox News has got the inside scoop. What's going on here, guys?
Well, this was planned all along. They're keeping in their puppet just like they wanted.
Getting a massive swing, 5. What do you think about that?
Just a couple hours ago, Romney was up.
You heard me saying Romney up, Romney up. Looks like Romney. The whole middle of the country was red. And then the eastern and western shores turned blue, and Obama's swinging it.
Well, you know, I just don't know if the currency, the dollar's doomed. I just can't believe this. I mean, the people are just...
Wait, hold up, because look, YouTube has the same shit. They have them at 258 still. So...
Well, they could be... Google you said earlier that Google, you said that they could be quite behind.
Oh, no, what side is this? Oh, this is CBS News, 274.
Fox have them winning, but Google doesn't. But Google is always the most accurate, too. They could be jumping the gun. We don't know.
You said Google was slow, but, I mean, are they getting their information from Fox and CBS, who...
They compile it from everything. I think that's how they work.
I like how the Fair and Balanced news station has their results before anyone else. That sounds pretty fair and balanced, doesn't it? Isn't that this show? But they got the best news, right? And they announced the winner about an hour early. Guys, we're doing a live show here, and well, apparently Fox News is already they're like, people need to get to bed on the East Coast. We better announce our winner right now. Oh, they already got cheering Obama crowds, 5.
Try to beat a wave back.
I told you.
Economic discontent. He did it with a campaign that was brutal.
You guys realize we totally can't monetize this shit, right?
Well, it's okay. It's all about the message, and this means a lot. Another 4 years of exposing and trying to impeach Obama. We have a lot of dirt on Barack Obama.
Hey, this
that happened, but I think the Republicans are really faced with.
Hey, this video reminds me of when Obama was Obama reelected video reminds me of when O.J. Simpson was found not guilty.
There's no leader of the party.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Hey, where's the drum roll? Drum roll, drum roll.
Yeah, where's my? Is there going to be any rioting? Are those people rioting? No, it's 4 happy people. They're so excited and so happy. Yeah, Obama!
I bet,
Saved us from the hurricane that his administration created. Woo!
We romanced.
Tell him with your Dominator gloves, D-Like.
Hey, thanks, 5.
Everybody who wasn't running as a party, and I think that carried over. He never really was able to get the monkey.
All right, my man number 5 popping his head in there. I appreciate him being on the show tonight.
Thanks, number 5.
In that first debate,
all right.
didn't believe in him.
Oh, we're listening to live coverage. YouTube. Oh, Mitt Romney. He gave it his best shot, right, guys? He really
knew what he was doing. He was selected to lose. They knew that they could beat somebody who has a track record like Mitt Romney.
Somebody, healthcare, keep the country.
Oh, there's in Chicago, right there, Kyle.
It was tough, I have to tell you.
All right.
It feels good.
George, well, there was a moment after that first debate where it looked
all right.
like would not be reelected, but as Diane pointed out, he closed with a kick.
What is this? ABC News? Fox News? Fox News, CBS, ABC, they're all calling an Obama win here, huh? Electoral College win?
Turned first to one person, then another to try and avoid what turned.
Hey, Court, don't those people look happy? Don't you wish you would have voted Obama again?
Oh, you know it, sir. I wish I was a little.
You could have been wearing. You could have been wearing the blue cap and bet. I'm on the winning team. I didn't even vote Obama. I didn't vote Obama.
All we can,
but I will tell
all we
people
can do,
that I did to be on that bandwagon.
All we can do is say we tried, man. These people are digging their own grave, and they don't even know it, just like I did 4 years ago. And I'm just speechless. I knew this was going to happen, but we're just going to have to go on full attack and try to get President Obama impeached, get him out of office, just like Kyle Phillips said, reverse everything that he has been doing, reverse all of the damage to the country and to the currency of our nation that he has created. And we need to go full force attack because this is our children we're talking about here. This is us. It might even come before that.
So the fight continues, Court.
That's right. And we gotta bury this whole idea that Barack Obama is different than George W. Bush, because he is not at all, and he is continuing the same war drum. He's beating the same war drum, taking us down the same path that we've been going with this military-industrial complex. It's just sickening. These people are going to get something they can't even imagine. I mean, nobody's.
Look at that David Muir guy. Look at that David Muir guy on ABC with his fancy Reservoir Dogs outfit, and he doesn't have any cool sunglasses, and he certainly doesn't have any awesome Dominator gloves, and he's not wearing his blue hat, but he's wearing those big giant ear cans, and he thinks he's so special and marvelous and wonderful. Your guys' headphones look much better, and I think you guys are a couple.
Thank you.
I think you guys are a couple of much cooler dudes to me.
I think you're definitely right. And I think just because we don't talk like this doesn't mean that we're not. In fact, it makes us more intelligent.
Let's pretend for a second that Obama is what we need.
All right.
Yeah. God. Fail.
Going overboard. Continue.
Welcome.
God, I just can't believe this
to
garbage.
ABC News. My name is.
How can people be so stupid? I just don't get it. I mean, it almost makes you wonder why the elite wants to eradicate the people because they're so stupid.
D. Muniz for Prez. I don't think so. And Barack Obama reelected. Look how big his smile is. And look how dark his hair is. No more gray in it. He's washing the gray out. And Mitt Romney, he won these. Let's talk about the states that he won. He did a good job, yeah, but you know it's 8:32 on the.
Look how excited that journalist looks. He's like jumping up and down. He's like, "Oh yeah, Obama's my bitch. Oh yeah, I love it."
Look how he's bouncing up and
right
down.
now, just like. What if one of the times that he blinked, he had reptilian eyes? What would you?
Hey, it's like if they live, you just see them as they are, right?
Yeah. Hey, Kyle, do the when this pundit starts talking again, do the bad lip syncing voiceover for this guy.
Okay, I got this. Okay, are you guys ready?
Yeah, they're gonna go back to him here. When they go back to him.
Obama.
Yeah, that's the crowd.
Obama.
4 more years. 4 more years.
We're so stupid.
I want Obama. Hello, everybody. We are here at the inauguration, the second inauguration of Barack Obama, where he is about to give his acceptance speech, and boy, do we have a show for you. There's going to be ponies, there's going to be giraffes, there's going to be cake. Everybody, yes, that's right, everybody inside of this arena right now is going to get a piece of cake with Obama's face on it. Right after he gets this, yeah! Oh my fucking god, yeah!
Cake!
Fuck yeah!
Cake!
Oh, well, you saw the crowd and they all want their cake because cake is delicious and Obama gives you things. If there's one thing that we've learned is that Obama gives you things that you want when you want to have them, just like your phone and your cable service and your apartment. So, without further ado, once I'm done with this sentence, we are eventually going to go to Barack Obama on stage.
Well, hey, ABC reporter, what did you do this morning?
Well, I had breakfast with my wife and family, and I prayed to God that Gary Johnson won. But as we are here today, oh, here we go.
There we go. There we got the cake.
Oh my God! Look, it's the president. Oh my God.
Oh my God, he's so dreamy.
Oh! Everyone's like, I told you so.
Like you see the Mitt Romney children, the Mitt Romney children right there.
Oh, there's Romney's kids. They're like, this sucks.
Oh, dude,
we have to move again.
Oh, look at how happy those people are.
Obama.
Well, we're here live. Look, the people have eaten. They want their cake. These people standing behind me. Look at this guy. He's on his Obama cell phone. He's on his. Sir, is that an Obama cell phone you're on right now? Sir.
Hell yeah.
Sir.
Hell yeah.
Is that an Obama phone, sir? Oh, okay. Well, you know, as you can see, they all want handouts, and that's the reason they're voting them back in. Sir.
She's like, this is not a riot. Hey, look, everybody, this isn't a riot. This is a fun party. Look.
Look. Hey, sir. Hey, sir. Hey, has anyone ever told you, sir, that you look a lot like Reverend Wright behind me? Is that? Yeah.
Wait, I want to hear what her voice really sounds like.
No, wait, here it is. I'm MC Light on the microphone.
I got a text from somebody.
Someone doesn't like this. They're like, hey, don't make fun of Deborah Roberts on ABC News. Yeah, let's hear a little bit.
Really gathering, and now it is complete.
Cake.
Here again, raucous half hour to be sure, and we are joined now by.
We thought they were saying cake, but they were saying D Lake.
You voted for the right one.
Oh, you voted for the right one?
D Lake.
You voted for the white one? No, the right one.
Healthcare needs a change. We all need good health care.
He'll make it a
Oh, God.
Oh,
How
God.
long did it find to take this lady?
You took away the public option, you stupid bitch.
They're like, excuse me, is anybody that lady? And she was like, me, right here, I'm that lady.
Yeah. You see how many people are there? You know how many people they had to interview to find that lady? Like,
7.
Probably at least 10.
Lucky number 7, dude.
No, I don't think so. I think that Obama's got a plan in mind. And
Hey, that's half the people that are collecting welfare right there.
Well, that's Times Square, New York, where it looked like Barack handily won New York. It looked like he actually won the whole entire eastern seaboard that was just devastated by Hurricane Sandy. And what the media out there, they're like, hey, the lights are back on in Times Square, so do not ask anyone about the hurricane. The streets are pretty dry, and Barack is the best.
Don't say
subways.
Hey, dare I say the E word? Dare I say economy? Economy? Come on! How could you reelect someone who has buried us with debt even further?
I don't want to hear about that economy talk, Court. We're trying to celebrate the fact that Obama just got another 4 years, okay? Let us have our
economy! 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 Economy!
Economy.
Millennial generation and his top educated white women by far.
Hey, I don't want to teach you big words.
Wait a second. Can you back that? Oh, that video's live. He's all white women overwhelmingly like Barack.
In some cases, very weak
America has 85% jungle fever.
Where he's right in there punching till the very end. He's winning under 40%.
God.
40% of white voters and still in a position.
White voters.
I told you. I just said it.
I know.
Oh, all those voters in the Midwest. They all voted Romney. Those stiff conservatives. Freaks.
This is the true dumbing down. This just shows how dumbed down people really are. This just shows why people get screwed and get screwed in the end with so many things, because they're so trusting of people that have lied to them. And here, let's hear what they have to say here.
Oh, sorry, I just clicked out of it. I was going to let you make your point.
Well, no, I mean, I just don't get how people are so easily manipulated and so they're sold on the fact that he hasn't had enough time, but he's had enough time to increase our debt to over $16 trillion. What about anything else? He didn't even live up to the reasons you guys voted him in, and you re-vote him back in? I just don't get it.
I got my flag here like all those people in the audience. Sorry. I want to feel like I'm in a big, gigantic crowd like you guys, and like feel like we're in the arena, we're in the sports arena, we're at the stadium, and we're there for the big heavyweight fight, and we're there for the big playoff and the big Super Bowl event. And yeah, our team won! Is anyone going to set a car on fire tonight? I thought there was going to be riots and martial law. Come on! No.
Let's look it up.
It's a big entertainment thing, and I can't wait to watch all the replays of everyone's fanciness and amazingness tomorrow on YouTube.
Yeah, I know. People are going to have a journey listening to this thing.
Oh, yeah. Well, I figure maybe we'll wrap up around 9 o'clock, which is in about 20 minutes. That'll be a 3-hour show, guys. I mean, and this was kind of impromptu. We're like, hey, let's cover the election night. And how do you guys think it's gone so far? What do you guys think, Kyle?
Well, I have a huge stack of empty beer bottles. That's for sure. It went pretty much exactly how I expected it to. Barack Obama won. I expected him to win 43-40, which would have been nice because that would have meant I was actually really hoping for those numbers, because that would have at least given Gary Johnson the 5% that I wanted him to get. But Gary Johnson didn't get his 5%, which means one thing, that I'm going to be voting for Jesse Ventura next election, I guess. So, I mean...
but he's only going to be on there if every state demands him to be on the ballot or something like that.
No, they're going to do it. We're going to march. I'm going to march to their door myself if they try to deny him on the ballot access. I swear. I'm saying it here on the Media Speaks Live. If they deny him, I'm storming in the building. I don't care.
I think it's something that needs to be addressed and something that we should participate in. But at the same time, I have a feeling from Jesse Ventura himself, who I'm a big fan of, the star of The Predator, Jesse Ventura there, who, Blaine, he doesn't have time to bleed. Jesse Ventura, okay?
Yeah, he doesn't have time to. There's no time to bleed.
I ain't got time to bleed. And that guy's wicked and awesome and amazing, and he takes his breaks down to Mexico and goes, like, surfing, and he's a wicked awesome surfer and everything. But when Jesse Ventura says, hey, if I get on the ballot in all 50 states and people really pump me up, then I'll run for president, that makes me say, hey, I'm D-Lake for Prez. I could run for president, and so could you. So could anyone. Okay? If Roseanne Barr can run for president, then so can you. If Jill Stein can get arrested trying to come into the presidential debate, maybe you can get arrested in 4 years. All right? I'm sure.
Yeah, maybe you could. Maybe you could join the fight.
I'm sure after 4 more years of Obama, thanks America, it's going to be much easier to get arrested. And, in 2016, it's going to be amazingly easy to get arrested. Court, what do you think? I'm sorry.
This is full on. This opens the gateway for a complete police state, complete takeover, complete 1984. I just can't believe it. Now they're going to get their Stasi police that are the tattletales for the.
Are you bringing in Eli Jones?
Yeah. Are you spying on me? I was gonna see if he wants to come join us for a little bit.
I don't know if I know this person. This should be interesting.
I don't know what everyone else is seeing, but my big screen is your.
Hey, we could even try to get correct views on here for the final.
Yeah. Hey.
See if he's online right now.
I don't know what time zone he's in, but yeah. Let's all try to get a couple people on.
He posted up pretty late.
Let's Oh my God! I just pressed the wrong button.
Here, let me just randomly look.
Anyways, while you guys look, I'm going to talk a little bit about what this means for America.
Absolutely. Let's hear what this means for America, Anthony Court.
Well, this just means that there isn't going to be a full audit of the Federal Reserve. Harry Reid and Obama have succeeded in extending the inflation of our currency. This is the destruction of what we know as America. We all really need to unite on issues that matter instead of squabbling around about, little things that separate the left and right and create the paradigm itself. If we can unite on the things that matter in the economy and focus about us at home, then we can really turn things around. But with Obama these next few years, it's going to be very hard. I don't know I honestly can't say if we're going to have enough time. We're going to have to push and try really hard. All of the truthers are going to have to join forces. We're going to have to spread the word full force. I mean, there's just not enough words to describe the amount of trouble middle America is. I mean, the middle class is becoming eradicated. They want to steal the wealth of this country. That's the goals of the bankers. The whole essence of Jeffersonian politics is to prevent them stealing the wealth of our children and our children's children. And we've let them regain control. And Obama's part of this. We need to convey this message to people that Obama serves the same interests. He promoted the bailout of the bankers. He promoted the American Reinvestment Act. That put us deeper in debt, just as much in debt as the other thing. He continued the wars he called so expensive that were started by false pretenses, by false intelligence.
Can't we make those wars less expensive by using drones and other future technology? And we don't need bayonets and we don't need horses anymore because we're in the age of the future now, or what's going on with that?
Yeah, you're right. I need to settle down here. It is kind of getting late. But yeah, I mean, we don't need bayonets anymore. This is trying to have it. They try to sell it to people like, if we detach it and make it through a drone, then it's more humane somehow because we don't put our own soldier at risk. But we're still bombing innocent people in villages of countries that people don't even know the names of, don't even know what language these people speak. When Gary Johnson pointed out a very interesting aspect that over 1 million people in Iran came and criticize their own country. So if we bomb Iran, we're bombing that 1 million people that don't want this war, that don't want this whole nuclear debacle. They don't want to be a part of all this. There's people like you and me in Iran that have normal lives. They don't want to contribute to this nonsense. And why should we go and bomb these innocent people and say that it's humane? I just don't understand,
Have you ever met an Iranian girl?
Persian. Yeah, of course. Yeah, plenty of times. And you're pretty. Do you like?
I like them, and I don't certainly. My understanding is that their nuclear enrichment is not necessarily about building a bomb, and historically, they've never invaded or attacked anyone, or they've never invaded anyone, to say the least. And all their nuclear enrichment is about. What is that? What is that, Kyle? Why is there a check mark? Why is there a check mark next to Romney there? What is that?
Where? What are you talking about?
On the screen right now.
Oh, that's from Alabama.
I see it next to Obama.
Oh, just one state?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't looking at the top. I was looking over a little to the right. But overall, they called it for, hey, are we getting Eli Jones on the show, or what's going on with that?
Yeah, I invited him. He might be dropping in.
Does he have the necessary equipment and the mic and all that, or?
I don't know.
I just heard.
That was me re-inviting him. I just said that I told him I invited him, so I don't know. He sounded interested, but we'll see if he.
I added you. I invited you. Maybe he's still trying to figure it out, but it'd be cool if we got him on here for fun, right?
Yeah, definitely. Court, you've seen Eli Jones and stuff, right? He does the Renegade rants.
Yeah.
Have you seen him at all?
Court looks frozen. He's not even moving on his video.
Court literally looks frozen in time. Like, he looks like his eyes are... He looks dead.
Don't say that.
Do you got the same picture as me?
I have the same picture. Court, are you alive? Court, do you have a heartbeat?
He looks
Court,
like
are you there? Court. Play the theme song to Emergency. Can you find that?
Can you hear me?
Find that show Emergency and find the theme song. Court, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Emergency theme song.
We can hear you, but we have
more. Hold on, we're still trying to find you. It's an emergency. Court, are you there? Wait. Court! Court! Anthony Court! Barack Obama was just re-elected the president of the United States. This is D-Lake for Press reporting to you from the Media Speaks. Court, are you getting this message? Obama was just re-elected the president of the United States. We are broadcasting live at themediaspeaks.com. Yes, that's right, Kyle Phillips. Kyle Phillips is there. Kyle, are you there in Illinois?
I am here.
Where you never heard of Barack Obama before 2008? Is that correct?
No, not at all. 2007.
Oh my God. And there's Ron, and there's Mike Stoker. All right. I just wanted to talk over some theme song music. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was
all right, Kyle.
You guys confused me. I thought I was coming through bad.
Well, you were there for a minute. Kyle Phillips, Barack Obama was just elected president of the United States for another 4 years. And what does that mean to you?
But for me to answer that question, I'm keeping it on my webcam specifically for the dramatic caesura that is me walking away and coming back right now. 1 second.
That was pretty dramatic. Court, what are your thoughts about Barack Obama being reelected for another 4 years?
Well, like I was saying before, this is just truly a depiction of how easily manipulated the public has become and how distracted they are from the facts and the corruption and the truth. Things like Fast and Furious, things like how he campaigned against having lobbyists being involved with politics, but then puts them all in his White House. Things like Solyndra, things like John Corzine, things like that. We need to bring that to the table.
You guys were talking during my Caesure?
Well, no, we let you walk away dramatically before we started anything.
Well, that's what a Caesure is.
Oh, well, maybe
it's a
we
dramatic
pretended
pause.
to know. Okay, Kyle. No, I'm just
I pretended to speak French or something. I don't know what that means.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed right now, to be completely honest. So,
Mitt Romney
Well, are you
speaks French,
surprised,
okay?
though?
Do you like Perez speaks English, American English,
What
even
was
with
the-
some slang and some cursing? Court, go ahead.
well, wait, why do you...
Wait, what?
I don't know. Are we getting Eli on the show? Are we getting to the end of this? We're going on 3 hours. We got about 8 minutes left. What can we do to bring a little bit of levity and humor to this situation of Barack for another 4 years? And let me ask you this, Kyle. Is it good that it is Obama because we've had the past 4 years to gather up all this incriminating evidence against him, and shouldn't it be easier to impeach him in the next 4 years, or what?
Should it be easier to impeach him in the next 4 years? That's your question?
Yeah, I mean, we've had the past 4 years to gather all this evidence. If it was Romney, we'd have to start the investigation from,
if we don't, we're definitely doomed. I mean, that's my opinion. Go ahead, Kyle.
No, it won't happen. We're not going to impeach him, especially not now. We have too much riding on him. The only people capable of the power that it would take to impeach him have no intention of doing so, because think about the implications of that. We have 4 years' worth of legislation that this man has written that would be null and void. No Supreme Court justice, no congressman, no legislator of any kind wants Obama impeached, because that's a lot of work for them, and that would be detrimental to our economy and our society as a whole. So as much as I hate to say it, at this point, him being in the second term, him being impeached, at least under the grounds that he's not a citizen, therefore null and voiding everything that he's done, would be a negative thing for the country. It would be bad for us at this point.
Well,
It
so
really
now
would
the
be.
chances are even less than a lot of the stuff that sort of it hasn't come out, but it's been a theory, if you want to call it that, over the past 4 years. Several different things have been theories, but aren't the things that can be sort of backed up or proven, and things that have been investigated by Congress, like Fast and Furious, I mean, are those things that could be impeachable offenses, or is D-Lake kind of silly for talking about impeachment on the night that the man was reelected, and that's just crazy talk that's never going to happen?
Well, wait. Let me say really quickly just that impeachment and impeachment on the grounds of ineligibility are two different things. If he was impeached because of Fast and Furious, the things that he has enacted, like Nixon, would still be enacted. They would still be law. To where if he was found to be impeachable because of his citizenship, everything he's ever done is null and void.
Well,
so
what about all those lawsuits that have come out over the past 4 years in regards to his citizenship and his transparency of records and other things like that? And even Donald Trump challenges for $5 million. I mean, does that take on more weight now or less?
I think personally less, but I'll pass it to court with that.
Yeah, I'm upset. I'm very upset about this too, Kyle. I feel you, man. This is just a true depiction, like I was saying earlier, of how dumbed down and manipulated people are, and how much of a job we are going to have to really break them out of their sleep.
And we just saw those people. We just saw those hordes of people cheering and so excited and so overjoyed that it was Obama reelected, and his big flashy smile and his fancy hair and afro and all that. And
well, it's just
continue.
Yeah, and I knew I called it earlier. I said that I thought he was going to win, but
yeah,
it is a downer when it happens, you know. So I completely understand.
But what about all the investigation and all the different things that have been going on the past 4 years? I mean, are those just canceled out now because he won tonight, or are
no? I don't think they're canceled out. But
he continued.
If they were going to impeach him, they would have tried already. I mean, because look at all the things he's done. They even had a Secret Service scandal with prostitution. If journalists were real, they would have dug deeper into that, probably would have figured out that it wasn't just the Secret Service seeing these prostitutes. So, you know, if we could get a real media that becomes more investigative, media that can expose things like Watergate, things like that. If we could find more of the deep throats, more of the whistleblowers, then we can expose them and really try to break people out of this coma, you know. And I was deep in this coma as well. I really, in the beginning, thought that he wanted well and that, it was just the Republicans' fault in the Congress why he couldn't get anything done. But when he got a democratically controlled Congress, he still didn't pursue any of the agenda he stated in his campaign. So I think if we stay on that note and really just compare him to to Bush and what the media criticized him for and how we got people so mad and got them to mobilize, like KRS-One says in the Obama deception, we were on the verge of a revolution. Yeah. And then suddenly they put Obama in front of us, and we're just like this.
We're just like this. We're just like this. I remember that scene. That's a really good part of that movie.
Yeah, and it's true. And that's a lot of people are still just like this. They don't.
And you're not going to see the franchise owner.
Yeah, exactly.
I got a cheeseburger, and I don't think my cheeseburger.
If your cheeseburger is cold and you go to the manager, but the manager is not the franchise owner. KRS-One, Boogie Down Productions.
You need to get to the top.
Rest in peace, Scott LaRock. I've been listening to KRS-One and Boogie Down Productions a really long time, you guys, man. Since like over 20 years.
I've never listened to them, to be honest.
And
I've heard a little bit.
Philosophy. It's my philosophy. Put on Kyle, look up Boogie Down Productions, BDP, My Philosophy. Oh, never mind.
Hey, join us.
Is that Eli?
Eli Jones.
Eli Jones, do we have you on audio? It's his first time on the show.
There
Eli.
he is.
Eli Jones, what's going on?
He's putting on headphones.
Can you guys hear me good?
Yeah. Yeah, we got
we can hear you.
Eli Jones, welcome to themediaspeaks.com. Hey, thanks for joining us. So it looks like Obama was just announced a winner, and can we hear your thoughts on that?
I think that we're going to be in for another 4 years of tyranny. Looking at some attempts at gun confiscation or severe restriction. Just overall mega speed upload of the New World Order.
Oh,
let me
you're
just
completely
point out
right.
For everybody, before we go on, that we have with us now Eli Jones Renegade Rant. You can look him up on YouTube. If you type in Eli Jones, his channel comes up. He's got some really good videos out there. Definitely good enough that he sparked our interest enough to ask him to come on with us. So sorry, Court, you were going to say something.
Well, no, I completely agree. I mean, it just makes sense that they would re-elect the person that has been pushing the essence of the whole New World Order agenda. I mean, they had him head as that UN Council at the same time. If they're able to pull the strings like they've been doing these past 4 years, then of course they're going to want to keep that same puppet in line and use that to, like you said, incorporate gun confiscation, which is a serious issue. And a lot of propaganda came out after the James Holmes shooting and the whole Sikh temple shooting. It almost falls in line with what you're saying. And, I don't think, another 4 years, that's a lot to survive the 4 years we've just experienced. I mean, I really doubt the currency, the dollar, is going to last this next 4 years.
What do you think, Eli? Do you think that the dollar is going to last for the next 4, let's say 10 years? Do you think that the dollar is a sustainable currency the way the Federal Reserve is run, or what do you think on that?
No, I think, honestly, all of the research that I've done and all of the analysts that I've heard from, I mean, all agree that likely this spring, as early as this spring, we could face some sort of economic collapse or devaluation of the dollar. There's so many things right now that hang the dollar in the balance that keep us afloat, and all of those things are unstable. 10 years, I think, is totally outrageous to think that we'll last that long. I'd say within this Obama's administration, we will see huge Depression-era type economic collapse, if not worse.
So what do you think? What do you see for the next 4 years, just generally under this Obama administration, this new 4-year Obama administration? Give us your outlook. Your what do you see in the next 4 years?
I think what you're going to see is Obama take this newfound power that he has, where he does not have to face re-election. He's basically totally unaccountable because, as we all well know, Congress will not hold presidents accountable, so impeachment is unlikely because most of those guys have enough skeletons in their closet that they keep their mouths shut just so they can get that, fat paycheck that they get. So you're going to get a president just, totally unbridled power. Definitely a socialist Marxist who's going to be pushing that agenda. So you're going to be seeing, like I said, attempts, I think, at gun confiscation or at least severe restriction, a devaluation of the currency. QE Unlimited is going to be pushed to the max. We're going to be in big trouble. And I also think that you're going to see a war with Iran.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I absolutely agree with you, and I can see that Court does as well, that the one thing that is inevitable, and I will say, and tell me if anybody disagrees with me on this, but I think that a war with Iran was inevitable no matter what the outcome of this election, because
definitely.
Both the candidates have made it pretty clear that that's what they want to do, and that's where they want to head with the Israeli-Iran conflict.
Well, you're exactly right. Yeah, sorry, did you want to chime in on that, Eli?
No, I was just agreeing with that. That's absolutely correct.
Yeah, and it's completely correct. I think now that the campaign's over and Obama has retained his office, his dictatorship, rather, now they're going to have more open talks with Israel about making this strike against Iran and definitely increasing the fear-mongering about their nuclear capabilities. So we could definitely see a change in tune from the Obama administration regarding that. I would say, at least I can speculate right here.
So how do you guys feel? Do you feel that Gary Johnson has had any impact on what the Obama administration will do? Do you think that Gary Johnson's amount of votership, do you think that it was impactful, or do you think that it was kind of a loss on the Gary Johnson libertarian side? How do you think that'll affect the Obama administration? I'll let D-Lake go first.
Thanks. Yeah, I kind of wanted to jump in there on that. I agree with a lot of what Gary Johnson said. However, most of what I heard from Gary Johnson was in his preliminary time in the Republican in the RNC and in those debates. He bounced out of that Republican Party when signed up and joined that Libertarian Party, where he ran and was successful in his own right tonight and did well in his home state of New Mexico. However, if Ron Paul would have done the same thing, bounced out of that Republican Party right around that same time, just before like the last one or two Republican debates, brought his big, giant, massive crowds and constituency with him, and all that power that he's garnered over the past 30 years in Texas. I mean, all those states that were red tonight, and probably even more, considering you won the California straw poll, could have been Ron Paul. And I don't know how the hell it was Mitt Romney tonight and not Ron Paul, because this red cup right here should have said Paul. And I'm wearing a Ron Paul T-shirt on election night.
That's
Eli
the price.
Jones, what do you think about Ron Paul? And where was Ron Paul tonight, Eli Jones?
I think that Ron Paul had a great following, but I think he fizzled out, and his son obviously endorsed Mitt Romney, so you almost saw a breaking apart of the Paul stance against the,
And that happened a week after the Bilderberg meeting. Anyways.
Yes, you're absolutely correct.
What are your feelings about Gary Johnson, though, Eli Jones?
I like Gary Johnson. I think the only problem with Gary Johnson is his stance on moral issues in regards to his, full-out libertarian view. And I know that I disagree with a lot of individuals on this, but I think that a guy like Virgil Goode, who holds the moral stance as well as a strong constitutional stance, would probably be a better balance, or a Ron Paul type. I know he probably aligned with Gary Johnson more than Virgil Goode. But.
Well, only when it comes to the stance of the war on drugs, because just like I believe I kind of stand with Gary Johnson when he says, when you say, it's good to leave everything up to the states, and that's part of the Constitution. But when you say that in reference to the war on drugs, you essentially say you don't care, or you won't decriminalize drugs. But isn't that such a big problem this country faces? There being more than 50% of the population, like with drug crimes being nonviolent. Doesn't that also fall under the wasteful spending and fall into that paradigm? That whole realm.
Court, are you talking about people that are incarcerated for like drug charges, nonviolent drug offenses, or?
That's right. Yeah, and there's so many cases if we just eliminated the whole thing, so much money would be saved and so many people would be free. And I think that would actually stimulate the economy because, in a lot of different ways. But we enable a lot of drug dealers, especially in Mexico, to benefit off the war on drugs. And it's just been a bloody, endless, pointless war. Just look at Fast and Furious. That just goes to show the effectiveness of it.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Jones, Eli Jones. I thought that I've heard you reference in one of your videos, one of your Renegade rants, that you are a former police officer. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
And do you have any thoughts or opinions on Fast and Furious and what that might mean in the next 4 years?
Well, I think it was clearly a sort of a false flag, a quasi-false flag to the war on drugs. I think that's a huge propagation. The police department in the city that I worked at, the officers dealt drugs with the people behind bars.
Oh, right.
It's just a huge facade. It's a moneymaker for the government. I definitely support the legalization of drugs, and I think Fast and Furious is just another attempt at the government to power grab.
Were the things that you saw while you were in the police department, were those some of the things that made you switch careers, or?
Yeah, corruption was a huge reason. It was a place that I did not feel safe working with a...
You're kind of like Serpico. Well, so don't say too much, but you're not like Serpico. I'm just joking. Well, I don't know. Maybe you are, but you didn't snitch on anybody. You never did anything like that, though, right?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Let's not talk about it.
But that's classified, D-Lake. That's classified.
I know. I don't want to go anywhere that anyone's uncomfortable, and I'm sure these other guys could bring stuff up on me, Eli. So don't worry about it. But hey, Court, did you know that Eli had formerly worked as a police officer?
No, I didn't.
That's kind of an interesting perspective.
It's a tough job. So, yeah. You know what? It's to no surprise that he experienced the corruption, though. Because a lot of people that I used to work with were, at my old job, former police officers, and said the same thing. They couldn't handle the corruption, and they have ties to the drug dealers and actually enable a lot of the biggest drug dealers in the city, So, he's completely right. I think I just don't understand how people can just look away. It just shows that they have such power and control in that sense.
But I'm sure there's plenty of good guys and smart guys in my local community. I bump into the police at the 7-Eleven and stuff, and they all seem like relatively pretty cool guys. I mean,
right? Yeah, I'm not defaming all police officers. I actually respect their, respect them. I mean, when they're not, throwing clubs in people in innocent protesters' faces, but that's another story. I mean,
I think
yeah. Sorry.
I think it was just this past week though. I think it was somewhere on the East Coast during the hurricanes. And where are you, Eli Jones? Were you affected by any of that hurricane weather or Hurricane Sandy? Or
Yeah, here in Virginia we got a little bit of it. It wasn't anything major. It was pretty
you were
much just
south
a
of most
blowover.
of the.
Yeah, we were south of it. Thank the
Yeah.
Lord for that.
Yeah. Well, we're glad that it didn't affect you then.
Did you see any of the weird sort of conspiracy talk that Hurricane Sandy was the exact same name and trajectory and potential damage of test hurricane, and I believe it was like the early 90s?
No, that's a
Late-
new one on me.
Late 80s, early 90s, they had a test model hurricane called Sandy that hit the eastern seaboard and did pretty much the same level of damage and destruction that this hurricane just did. And are you aware of like HARP and projects in Alaska and Air Force naval projects that can potentially manipulate the weather?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I definitely know about HARP and all of that, and I was very much a proponent telling everybody that this likely could be the false flag attack that Obama would use to get back into office, and I think it actually did help him. I think that the sympathy it felt of him, him showing himself to be a presidential guy, took the eyes off of Romney surging in all the polls. So I think it, I mean, that's really what was going on.
And saving people is much more heroic than killing people, right?
Oh, absolutely. He was getting some bad press with the Benghazi thing, but all of that disappeared when Sandy hit,
Yeah, isn't that magical and wonderful how that happens?
Oh, it's just so wonderful.
Hey, Court, what were you going to say?
Well, yeah, I mean, it is a strange coincidence that it happens to be the same name. It sort of falls into the realm of how they were, conducting this 7/7 bombing drills the day the bombing happened, things like that nature. It is
fancy coincidences.
Yeah, there are a lot of fancy coincidences that they just call coincidences every single time, but the odds of that would happen are like 1 in, as Alex Jones always says, tetragillion or whatever. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's more than a quintillion, but not infinity. Somewhere in between.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that you could say that you could say as Alex Jones says, like.
Yeah, it's funny to kind of reference he goes, well, no, this phrase he used to say, he goes, well, every now and then a blind hog stumbles upon an anchor, like my
favorite is like,
hey, Eli Jones, are you an InfoWars listener? And do you have an?
Oh yeah, every day.
Do you have an Alex Jones impression for us, or can you do your best Alex Jones impression?
Oh man, he's a hard one to emulate there.
We did that last week. This is an impromptu live show. Eli, do you have an Alex Jones impression?
Oh man, you put me on the spot here. Oh man, let me think here. It would have to be my favorite, I think, all-time Alex Jones thing is when he just totally loses his cool and goes totally off into to rant. I can't even imitate it.
No.
But he just goes off and he starts just rolling his eyes and talking all crazy and
hey Kyle,
I don't even know what he's talking about.
Hey Kyle, give us one of those rants that Eli's talking about.
No, I got one. I totally got one.
Give us the best rant. Give us one of those rants that Eli's he's getting into talking about how he just flies off the handle or what? What do you got?
Here, I got one for you. Give me 1 second here. It's one that my buddy, the guy,
Wouldn't you guys agree though that even when he's flying off the handle, he's still making a lot of good points, but you have to kind of be listening closely,
It's like
you have to be attuned to the way that he's going crazy like that, right? Or
don't get me wrong, he has good intentions, but as I've said before, I do feel that Alex Jones at some points becomes a character more than a talk
you're eating
show.
hot pockets in the basement, pal.
Okay.
If he wasn't a character, it wouldn't be interesting though.
Hey man, you guys try doing like
and then they all
7 hours a day
feed on
live.
each other and their hatred and disdain for the public, especially in Miami. It was a lot. I mean, a federal judge was out there at a previous event in Miami, going to their car, and the cops cornered him and beat him down, and they lost a big suit over that because they didn't know. They thought they were going to have a little fun on a side street with a judge and went to, just beat the citizen. You are slave, civilian. I rule you. And if I want to shoot you in the face with rubber bullets, that girl in the Red Sox game came out of a bar. They shot her in the face 10 feet away, blew her eyeball back in her brain. She bled to death. The cops went on the news and said she shouldn't have been out there. Death, death, death. She was peacefully with a sign, and there's video of that on the web, and they just start choking her till she passes out. Just men in black uniforms grabbing a 55-year-old, woman, just choking her. You're going to learn who we are. You're going to learn to submit. The foreign bankers have given us unlimited power, and we're going to rule you. This is our country. You're here. We're going to feed on your ass. And the cops just drink fluoride water. They take their kids and just shoot them up with mercy and become autistic. The cops
and that's a 7-minute video. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I love the information. I love the information that Alex Jones puts out, and I think that he is a great guy, and that overall he's good. But sometimes he becomes too much of a character to where he needs to be more of a news reporter, Like, he goes overboard to the point where you almost can't take him seriously. Like, we
were kind of getting into that a little bit before, but I wanted to say that I think the article's on there, and even Court and I were talking about how Fantastic Four Paul Joseph Watson is and what a great reporter he is.
Yeah. He's a really good reporter. They have a really good heart on InfoWars, and I actually respect what they do overall. I think they help the movement overall. I actually think personally that Alex Jones knows those rants he gives are pretty funny. You
got to be funny sometimes. Yeah. That's how you get people to watch the show, right? I don't know.
Eli, I don't know if you've heard this.
I'm not trying to be funny at all. I'm dead serious.
Right. Here's a song you just mentioned, Paul Joseph Watson. Here's my Paul Joseph Watson song. Just throw this in here.
This song is for Paul Joseph Watson. Keep fighting the fight.
DJ Dub.
It appears as if we're approaching the end game, death and the economic fallout, debt down. So basically what's happening now, the situation is so out of control that there's no money, nothing left. No money's fiat, it's not money. It's not funny.
Paul Joseph Watson, a political Charles Bronson. If serving justice was beer, he'd be Wisconsin. Met Alex on the street and it sealed his fate. Prison planet.
I'll just stop there, but I'll just mention too that little
Wait,
joke
how did Paul Joseph Watson and Alex Jones meet?
They met in one of the documentaries. I forget which one it was, but they totally met Paul and Steve Watson on the side of the road and just started talking to him and does anybody know what I'm talking?
I think it's when he was protesting about Parliament passing a free speech zone law.
Yeah, that's what it was, yeah. And I forget which movie it was in, but yeah, they totally met them, on the street, during a documentary, and then all of a sudden, it's all, aluminium, and they were a part of it. So, let's just go around. Eli, how do you feel now, what's your general sentiment about the fact that Obama is the president for the next 4 years? What are your thoughts? What's the first things that come to mind after you found that out?
Well, prefacing what I'm going to say, I think that the election was rigged. So clearly this is who the New World Order wants in the position. And I told my wife today, I said, if Romney wins, the global elite thinks that the people need to slow down and be put back to sleep, and they're going to try to do their tyranny a little bit slower. That if Obama wins, they're going to escalate it, and it's going to go full throttle, and they may even try to pull the trigger and go full martial law and totally implement the globalist agenda here within the next 4 years. And so he got reelected.
What about the next 4 years? What about the next 4 days, Eli? They were just saying that martial law was imposed in New Jersey, actually at the Jersey Shore, like the TV show, because of the hurricane. And how long is that martial law going to last in New Jersey?
Yeah, I think it could keep descending down there. I mean, it doesn't seem like they're getting their power back on, and of course you got this nor'easter that very well could be hitting there tomorrow. Again, I don't know if you've heard about that, but yeah, I think that we're in. My gut just tells me we're in a lot of trouble with this.
I agree. I agree with a lot with what you're saying there, man. For sure, Eli.
Yeah, me too.
Right. I mean, what he was telling his wife there is sounded right on the money. Because I mean, it's like, yeah, the global elite that's behind the curtain, the Don King of this whole Goldman Sachs heavyweight fight production that we witnessed earlier tonight, where it's like, he got a state, we're moving from the east to the west, and then it's Obama, and he got it, and he wins by a landslide, and everyone's so excited and happy, and it's like a Super Bowl event. And but that's exactly what it means. What Eli Jones said is that it's more of a quickening now. It's the pace is, they're speeding up the pace. Kyle, do you agree with that notion that if it was Romney, that it kind of would have meant that the man behind the curtain wanted things to slow down a little bit and have people sort of take a pause? But with Obama being reelected, it's like a quickening. It's like anything could happen. The whole pace is sped up. And he's not seeking re-election now for the next 4 years. So, I mean, what are some of the things that could happen?
See, and this is how I feel, and how I've said in many of my other previous videos before the election results, is that this election was completely set up for Obama, that Mitt Romney was the next John Kerry, that he was just there to lose. If you just looking at him, it's like people picked Obama because they wanted change from the average, quote-unquote, Republican candidate. And so who do the Republicans put up in the next election against him when there's a chance that he might not do so well? Is they put up somebody who is literally like, if you were to ask somebody in the 50s, draw your candidate for president, they would draw Mitt Romney, like identically in cartoon form, to where like he was put there just to be
Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic of the Fantastic Four with the silver hair lining and that perfectly coiffed La Jolla haircut.
He's the candidate that He's the candidate that you don't want to vote for. He's a guy that you don't want in office. And so I legitimately think that he was put there just for the point of losing. He was put there to show people what they don't want so that Obama could be what they did want, if that makes sense.
Well, yeah, it makes complete sense. You're 100% correct. I mean, just like Eli and you are saying, I mean, they are full force with this New World Order agenda, going full momentum. If they are convinced that people are asleep enough to continue full force, why would they slow down at all? They want to bring it full force. And earlier, with this whole healthcare, originally it was thought to have a public option, which lured people into the handout idea. And then they even screwed those people in the end and made it more corporate fascism like we've been experiencing. So this is just, like you're saying, the continuing of the end, the continuing of the Titanic falling into the water. And some people will be like the violin players and just stand there and play and start sliding down the deck.
Yeah, rearranging the deck chairs or what?
Yeah. Some people will stand there and play the violins happily as they fall and die.
Is that what happened? Is that what happened tonight, Court? Did we just we're just rearranging rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic, or what?
Yeah, exactly. And all those Obama supporters, they're those violin players just standing there happily playing as they fall to their death.
Yeah, laughing while you get sick and die. Hey, Kyle, what was that wacky e-card thing that you posted up on the Facebook today? Can you go to that? It looks like you're on Facebook right now. Can you go to that e-card thing that you put up about hitting icebergs?
No, that's what I was. That was Court.
That was you, Court? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Can you post that up for people to see?
That's actually what I was just searching for. Did you put that? Oh, here it is. Here it is.
Hey, do we have any viewers? Do we have anyone watching this live show? It's going over 3 hours.
We do. There's people watching.
Oh yeah. As soon as Eli Jones joins in, we get like 25,000 new viewers.
It's because he's better than
thanks
us.
for being on the show for sure. Thanks for being on the MediaSpeaks.com, and thanks for joining the media here, Eli Jones. Thanks, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, dude.
Hey, thanks for having me.
We appreciate you.
That's
we
awesome,
appreciate
man.
you having on.
Hey, Kyle. Thanks for convincing this guy to be on the show.
Yeah, well, I just saw that he was, like, online. He had just posted something. I was like, fuck it, let's see if he wants to come in and talk with us. Because Eli has always been somebody who, I'd say about 90% of the time we agree with politically and stuff.
I believe I'm subscribed to this guy, like his Renegade Rant on YouTube, yeah.
Yeah, the Renegade Rants, which are pretty decent.
For
the
sure.
One,
I'll have to check that out.
The one, I work when I'm not defending liberty, as I call it. I work at a gas station. I'm the third shift guy. That's what I do. I'm the only person there. And I get so mad with people who come in like stoned and on drugs and shit, and they buy like $30 worth of
Eli was a cop before. He's like, you guys are drinking and you sound so. It's election night, Eli. Come on, listen up.
Hey, we have to drink to accept the results.
But like, why would
his wife has got her eye on him, and she's
but hold up. These people that like come into my gas station late at night and they buy like fucking $30-$40 worth of just like shit on
their EBT card?
On their Link card, and it's
Link.
like I saw one of Eli's rants where he talks about this, where it's like the people who have food stamps eat better than I do, and I don't accept food stamps. So it's like, what the fuck? Like, why am I giving you money for food stamps if I don't eat that well? If you're buying fucking steak while I'm eating burgers, like. And like, I totally connected with that. Like, I don't know if you want to comment on that, Eli, but, like, that one rant got me. It's like, that shit pisses me off so much.
What was that?
They got their Obama phone.
Oh, wait. Eli and Court, you two guys, what do you think about EBT cards, LinkedIn, and all these outrageous benefits? And some people, I saw a receipt someone posted on Facebook, and on EBT they bought cold water lobster and porterhouse steaks, and apparently they got busted reselling those items for cash money. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
No, I tell you, I work for a major company that does packaging for the entire United States, all across the world. I work hard, support my family, have 2 kids, and I actually logged onto the internet and found out that I qualify for food stamps. I qualify for the government paying my electric bill. I qualify for free health insurance that I'm paying, like $100 a month. Or $100 a week, out of my paycheck. I qualify for all this stuff free, so I can actually, if I quit my job, I can actually stay home all the time and probably live better than I do now. And that's the incentive that the government gives that's destroying this country. They are paying people to destroy the country.
To sit at home, play video games, watch TV, and not go to work.
Yeah, and I will not have a hand in that.
Go ahead, Anthony Court. Hey, Eli, will you continue there? Court's video's freezing up there. Court, you're freezing up. Go ahead, Eli.
Part of the
And we got Kyle who's running the technical sound effects there.
No, I was just saying, I will not have a hand in destroying this country by taking handouts from people that work hard and pay. I pay into that system, and it burns me up when I go to Martin's or Walmart and see people in their Nike name brand shoes and their name brand handbags and iPhones, and they're paying for all their steak with EBT cards. It just makes me want to throw up.
And I agree with you 100%. Like I said, I work at a gas station, third shift, and it's like I had a girl come in, and she was paying for like $30 worth of stuff and her friend's stuff with a link card, an EBT food stamp card. And she said to me, she's like, "Do you got one of these?" And I said to her, I was like, "No, I don't." And she's like, "Well, why not?" And I looked her dead in the eyes and I said, "'Cause I got a job." And she was like, "Well, I got a job too." And I interrupted her. No, she's like, "Well, I got a job too." And I interrupted her, and I was like, "Well, then why do you got food stamps?" And like, she got so pissed at me. Like, you don't even understand. Like, this girl was like borderline about to make a complaint against me. And it's like,
do you guys hear me?
Yeah, Court, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. My feeling about the whole EBT thing, I actually heard a couple of old friends conspiring on how to get alcohol with EBT cards, and there was an actual loophole for them to do that. And the way to do that is to buy the groceries from the grocery store and then return the groceries and demand a gift card in return, right? And then you just buy alcohol with it. That's all people are doing. It's just another loophole, another way to enable and enslave the people and destroy our currency to push their New World Order agenda and push us towards a world currency so they could have more, that extra layer of control over society. So it definitely... Go ahead.
Yeah, it definitely does, Court. You're absolutely right what you were saying. I think, though, I know that Eli mentioned his wife, and so I guess I can assume he's married. I don't know if he has any kids, and I'm not asking, but when you have an equation that's like, man, we're all men here, okay, man, right now you're paying X number of taxes. You get married, you have a wife, you have some kids, your whole tax structure changes, and all of a sudden, that same job that you had 5 years ago, now all of a sudden you qualify for all these benefits. Eli, am I right? You're like, yeah, I could just stay at home with the wife and everything, or whatever else, and they're going to pay me to do this, or I can get these extra benefits, or I mean, I can stay at my job and still get an extra $200 for food.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every month.
Yeah, it's not like my job. It's not like my job is a bad job. I mean, I'm getting good pay, and they're still qualifying me for this. I mean, it's
so
ridiculous.
You can afford the shampoo and the house cleaning items that you can't get on that card, but you could get yourself some steak and some macaroni and cheese for free.
Oh, hey, if I can afford to do this and buy headsets and buy iPhones and gadgets and everything under the phone, I do not need government food stamps, and people just take it. It drives me insane.
Hey, did we all see that? Did we all see the Obama iPhone lady, Clark? I'm sure you saw the iPhone lady, right?
Everybody in Cleveland got Obama phone.
Obama phone lady, okay, right?
Hey, I think that's the thing that got him reelected. That's what got him reelected.
That definitely was a re-election incentive, more free phones. But did that crazy Obama phone lady? Hey, Kyle, can you bring up a picture or a video of Obama phone lady? And
we're gonna do more.
We need more Obama phone. Obama gave me a free phone, and I'm on Sesame Street. And then Romney wants to kill Big Bird, and he said he loved Big Bird, but he was just going to cut my funding. And I love Big Bird, and I love free phones. Can we see that report?
You got Obama phone?
Yes, everybody in Cleveland knows I know he got Obama phone. Keep on playing president, you know. He gave us a phone.
He gave you a phone. How did he give you a phone?
You sign up if you on full stamps, you on Social Security, you got no income, you disability.
Okay, what's wrong with Romney again?
Romney, he sucks. Hey, he sucks big fucking black dicks. I got a free phone. That's why he acts so embarrassed around.
Look, you can see the gum in her mouth. Look. she had the gum all hanging in her mouth.
I will start a riot. I will start a riot. If Mitt Romney wins, I will start a riot. I will start a riot.
See, to me, if I was an Obama supporter and I saw that video, I would be like, well, I am no longer an Obama supporter. Like, I don't want to be associated with that person even. Like, Eli, do you think that that woman represents your average Obama supporter? Or, like, how do you feel about Obama Fun Lady?
I think she's probably a pretty accurate representation. People have small minds nowadays. I mean, on both sides of the party. I posted something on Facebook earlier, and a family member commented on it. And it was like, I was downing Romney, and they said, well, I don't like this. Where's the do not like button? And I said, well, just because you don't like something doesn't make it not true. I mean, that's just, people have such small minds. It's like, well, I don't like that, or I do like that. Like this Obama phone lady, what's wrong with Romney? Well, he sucks. I mean, he sucks! There's no logic. Yeah, there's nothing in that. There's no logic. There's no thought. People just have no mind. They're all jacked up on fluoride and antidepressants, and they got their Obama phone glued to their head.
Well, to me, like the Obama phone and the Section 8 and the link card and all these different systems, it's a system of getting people to vote for you. It's a system of getting people, in your pocket. It's a system of getting people to want you only because you're going to get something in return. And that's a dangerous system when you vote for people based on what they're going to give you. That's when you enter tyranny, in my opinion.
I would agree. Court, we haven't heard from you for a minute. Are you still there, or what's going on?
Court actually was absorbed by a demon. The demon that is David Bowie.
Hey, does David Bowie have anything to add? I don't think so. Kyle, why don't you get more in depth into your personal feelings about tonight's election results?
How I feel? Well, it's
Obama another 4 years. I mentioned that earlier tonight today on the Judge Report. There was a link with a picture of Obama crying that said 4 more tears.
Well, I expected it to be Obama over Romney. I honestly did expect it to be 40-43, just like, what was it, NBC or CBS said on the People's Court. But it is exactly what we should expect. Honestly, which I know a lot of people have gotten mad at me for holding this view, but I do think Gary Johnson didn't stand a chance. Ron Paul didn't stand a chance. Jill Steinem or whatever. Yeah, she didn't stand a chance. So it was between Mitt Romney and Obama. And between those two, honestly, I'd rather have Obama than Mitt Romney. Very, very minimally, by 0.0001%, only because I feel like he's slightly less likely to start another war. And I'm very, very anti-war. But really, I don't think it matters.
You see, but isn't that the whole fallacy behind Obama? I mean, because like I said in my recent article, that he's continued most of the previous administration's policies, I'd say over 90%. I mean, in the essence of continuing the Iraq War, not pulling out day one, like he said, keeping Robert Gates, reappointing Ben Bernanke, those things like that. But yeah, you're right. It doesn't really matter because Goldman Sachs is the one who chose his candidate. So they chose the puppet to fight their other puppet. So, I mean...
What do you think, Eli? Do you think that Mitt Romney would have been better or worse? Because, I think it's a general consensus between us. We think it would have been the same.
I think it would have been about the same. One thing, I can't stand Obama, but to a certain degree, I'm glad he is still president because he's very openly a Marxist. and Romney is a kind of like a hidden behind the door fake capitalist. So with an open Marxist in policy, I think that people might be more apt to continue to wake up to what's going on. They'll be more abrasive by the president, by the government. One thought I just wanted to throw in here real quick, if you don't mind. I thought about something, the UN treaties with the Senate being maintained Democrat and I believe actually growing, if I looked at the results with the Democratic stronghold, we're going to have a hard time defeating UN treaties that come down, like gun ban treaties or treaties banning homeschooling, things like that. Because if you got Obama, who's not facing re-election, and then a Senate that's totally controlled by Democrats, you're going to have a really tough time defeating these Senate treaties.
Cord, do you have anything to say about that?
Yeah, and he's 100% correct, because they've fought time and time again to have UN supremacy over the sovereignty of our country, and that goes with that whole. That whole idea of them training UN troops to disarm in disarmament training for UN troops and on American soil. Which goes to aid Eli's argument in that sense. I mean, if we give complete control to an unelected body, then we've basically just sold away our country to the world dominators. I mean, it's what they want. The UN is a joke. It's something that we should definitely shy away from, and I don't think we would have had that with the Romney White House either. He would have definitely kept up with the UN, and I think he was pretty open about that. But yeah, I mean, they basically, I mean, all these bills that have passed, if they don't allow us to have certain firearms, we don't have an equal playing field, then who's to say if there's ever a real revolution that they wouldn't have UN troops coming in and doing all the dirty work? I mean, and how would you stop that? I mean, it would be a very tough situation. I don't know where it would go. I don't think personally the American people would give into such tyranny, but look what we've experienced. They just reelected a person who has decimated the Constitution. I mean, I can't believe it. It's just ridiculous.
So here's a question then. Where do people like us go from here? Where do us, YouTubers and internet talk people, what do we do from here, and what is the next step? Because as I'm sure, like with you and like all of you, that Eli and D-Lake and Court, we don't want to be doing what we do. Like, if it was up to me, I would love to have a wonderful manufacturing job and not have to worry about the government and not have to worry about trying to maybe make money on the internet or whatever. But we should
be meeting up on a cruise ship to Tahiti, not on Google Hangout talking about tonight's election results. Okay, in a perfect world, isn't that right?
Exactly.
In a perfect world, okay.
So
in a perfect world, Obama wouldn't be president.
I'll ask, and I'm kind of putting you on the spot. I apologize, but like Eli, you seem to be very early in the process of like internet blogging and talking about these things and getting information out. Where do you see yourself as it pertains to this election in the next 4 years? How do you see that affecting you?
I think that I'm going to push harder to reach more people, to convince my friends and family of the reality of the New World Order and the fallacy of the two-party system. I think just internet-wise, I think we're going to be facing internet restriction. Also, that's something I didn't mention earlier. Under Obama, I think you could see a huge clampdown on the internet, and we might not even be here within the next 4 years.
I'm sensing that coming too, but it's like Google's so strong, you would think. But what happened tonight with the results? Google was late, or they were running slow, and Fox News, on our live show, Fox News announced it it kind of seemed like 15 to 20 minutes ahead of everyone else, with a sweeping lead ahead of all the results that we were looking at the time. It was like we were looking at one result, we switched over to Fox News, and it was like 1 second later, Obama was the overwhelming majority winner.
Yeah.
we were watching the states turn colors earlier in the live show, and now here we are, and sort of, I mean, it's late in this live episode. Yeah, we're in overdrive on the post show, and I'm real excited that we got Eli on here, and I mean, this looks great. Kyle's got the dual monitor set up, and he's been running the technical show, and of course been giving all his great viewpoints and everything, and especially filling everyone in on all the research that he's been doing lately, and especially earlier this evening, remember when we were talking about all your wicked awesome reports that are getting just a massive shit ton of views, right? Court, I mean, come on. You're the best article writer. Court, you write the best articles in the group. Come on.
Yeah, Court. Let's give it up for Court.
Well, thank you.
Let's give it up for Court. Like, I don't know, Eli, if you know anything but about what we've been doing, how much you've been keeping up on our stuff, but Court recently had an article that was featured on naturalnews.com, Mike Adams' website, so we are
it was a real honor.
Holy shit. Like, yes.
You don't need to build it up that hard. I mean, they used an article I made, and it was just, it happened to be about the Prop 37, and I'm really glad they used it. That was the whole purpose. It was to help people discover the facts regarding genetically modified organisms and how that is definitely part of the NWO plan to help limit the population. And
hey, Eli Jones, do you have any thoughts on population, overpopulation, and also, I don't know if you know about Prop 37, but how do you feel about GMOs and genetically modified organisms?
Well, we try to avoid GMOs in my house as much as possible. It's getting hard, though. I definitely support Prop 37 and labeling of GMO foods. That's definitely needed, and it's very clear through all the money that Monsanto poured against Prop 37 that they definitely do not want people to know what they're eating because it is population control, population reduction. I mean, I think ultimately we all know. I mean, Alex talks about it all the time, and I mean, it's just everywhere. They openly admit that they want to reduce the Earth's population by at least 90% so that they can control, and that's the only way they will be able to control. I don't think it's going to happen. That's just what they want.
Yeah,
we're not going to let it happen. God damn it.
Well,
all right, I'm sorry. Excuse my language, sir.
You mentioned Alex, and so I just want to bring up something that is like a huge issue for us. One of the things that we spend a lot of time on. Did you know that Alex Jones is actually Bill Hicks?
He looks like him.
So I'm just gonna flow that into another issue of how do you feel about people like David Icke and people like it seems like there's a lot of people out there who have good information and seem to know what they're talking about, but then like there's like one part of them that is just completely insane. Like how do we deal with that?
That's a tough one there.
Like
the truth drives you mad.
What I'm talking about though, like the David Icke people out there who they're like, yeah, the CFR and the Bilderbergers and the New
Don't we
World
all
Order.
have a crazy streak? I mean, come on.
And the Trilateral Commission. And
the Trilateral Commission, and then the reptilians, mate. They're all fucking reptilian aliens. Like, what do you do about that? Because those people, I feel like, drag people like us down and make us look bad, if I'm being completely frank and honest. Like,
hey, these two candidates, I mean, now I guess it's, we're talking tonight's themediaspeaks.com election night live. That's why we're all kind of sipping on beverages and hanging out. And we invited Eli Jones to be here. He's here. This has been a ongoing live show. I think we're going on 4 hours here. Is that right, you guys?
Yeah, about 10 minutes shy. Yeah.
Can YouTube sustain a video this long? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm starting to question whether they'll be able to.
I mean, Alex Jones was talking about his 5-hour live show. So I mean, come on, here we go. But
Alex Jones.
No, Eli. Do you think? And I'm glad to hear that you don't really want GMOs in your place. But Do you think that some of your previous Renegade rants and maybe any investigation that you've done into Obama and Barack Obama, do you think that that's gonna? Do you think any of you guys? Do you think any of this investigation and previous reports that we've done and taking a look at Barack Obama, the president, who was just reelected tonight, do you think that any of that is going to hold any weight in the next 4 years? And are any of these issues like Trump and the birther issue, and I mean, why is that his issue? Who made it his issue? The media? I mean, why is that not D-Lake's issue? Or like, what about Fast and Furious? What about heading the Security Council and giving all these fantasy speeches at the UN General Assembly about YouTube videos sparking riots? What about the attacks on 9/11 in Benghazi? What about all these issues? What about all these pending issues and issues that are pending, Eli?
No, but you see, you're a conspiracy theorist. None of that stuff exists, even though he does it.
Oh, my bad.
And it's in the news. None of that stuff exists. So I think that's where we're at. I think we're to a point now that people just totally don't even care.
Yeah, they don't. They are openly, easily susceptible to manipulation, and they let themselves fall for that. I mean, it's just very, it's just how that people are referred to as sheep, because time and time again, we don't learn from history. We keep repeating history's mistakes, and I think this hopefully should be a big wake-up call for people the next couple of years when they really find out that Obama sold us out to the globalists and their dollars are meaningless. What effect this is going to have? This is why they're setting up FEMA camps. This is why they set up camps for re-education. This is why they want to confiscate our guns. So,
see, I look at this as the same as, like, I'm sure everybody here, you know, when you were in, like, high school or whatever, you had, like, an Xbox or a PlayStation 2 or a Sega Dreamcast, and you had your buddy who was like, hey, I can put a hard drive in that, I can put this and this and this on it, and this switch and this chip, and I'll make you able to play every game that they have out for it. But there was always in the back of your head, very much in the back of your head, like, yeah, I can have my buddy do this, but if he fucks my system up, I'm screwed, and there's nothing that I can do, so I'm just going to play the safe route, and I'm going to pay $40, $50 a game. So I'll pay my $40, $50 a game just to ensure that things don't change and that things stay the same as they have been. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, it's.
I understand what you're saying, but I chose free cable. My bad.
Yeah, so did I. But we were the few. I was the guy.
The antenna.
Out, you know, taking the plastic off that box and taking the filters off.
It was actually a sheriff or a sheriff's deputy that was running the chip free cable chip scam.
That's awesome.
My roommate, yeah, we had all the channels. We had East Coast, West Coast. We had all the Playboy and all the sports and all the.
And then they came up with the tracking devices to find you.
Yeah, the satellites got really extra sophisticated. Hey, Eli Jones and Kyle Phillips, how did the two of you guys, and I'm glad that you guys networked tonight so that we're all on the show. How do you two guys feel about Obama's next 4 years when it comes to drones and UAVs, unmanned aerial vehicles, and also those unmanned ground vehicles and all kinds of robotech technology? How do you guys feel about that?
Go ahead, Eli.
I think we're probably going to see an increase in that. I think that's something Obama's going to be pushing for. I mean, you already have cases of that. I know here in Virginia we've had cases of people seeing drones patrolling. I think it's going to be commonplace.
Yeah, definitely.
Kyle and Court, you guys think we're moving more towards the rise of the drones and some kind of Terminator future technology and Skynet? Are we getting closer to Skynet or what?
Most definitely. And it's evident because look at all the sheriff's departments that are trying to pass domestic spy drones in use to spy on criminal activity. It's becoming more commonplace, and we're going to start seeing more of this, more counties trying to come out with this. And you know what? I'm going to stretch and say we're going to see more with Obama reelected now. They're going to. I wouldn't doubt that they're going to push another false flag event, and who knows? Maybe even say that the drones saved the day. Maybe promote the drones so that we accept them, sort of like.
Hey, you know what? I'm surprised drones haven't saved some hurricane victims yet, right?
Yeah, right.
Right?
Well, hey, the question was like,
watch that be on Drudge Report tomorrow morning, dude. I just called it right here. Yeah, a drone is going to save a hurricane victim tomorrow morning. Mark my words.
Yeah, it probably will. But the original question was like, are we worried about drones in our neighborhoods and coming near us and stuff, right?
Let's hear more about that, yeah.
Check this out. This is a video from Elgin, Illinois, which is literally about 30 minutes from where I live, about 15 minutes from where I grew up. And here's a video of somebody in Elgin, Illinois recently.
The guy is a kid's soccer game, right?
Yeah, exactly.
See it.
Well, that's an odd little plane.
Yeah, it's obviously a drone.
That looks like a fucking predator.
It did. And it's like, they already are by my home, because Elgin is not far away from me at all. Like, I drive through Elgin all the time.
You were talking about that video. I didn't see it before, but I thought it was like just one of those...
No, yeah, that was like a straight-up predator drone, like a few miles from where I live. And I live like literally like the railroad tracks that go from like the northwest all the way up to the city of Chicago run right across the back of my apartment complex, like literally, you know, a few hundred yards from my apartment. And those run straight to Chicago, and they were running Black Hawk helicopters up them for NATO. And I never saw them, but multiple people around where I live and people I know said that they saw Black Hawk helicopters flying up and down those railroad tracks before NATO.
Hey, Eli, I know a lot of police officers were actually former military. Were you in the military before you were a police officer?
No, I actually started working with the police department when I was 18, and then I went into the academy when I was 21, so I didn't really have time. I just was straight.
Were you one of those kids like those kids in my neighborhood that wanted to be a cop ever since they were like a little teeny kid, and they watched all the Dirty Harry movies and bought replica guns and tried to handcuff D. Lake and torture him with broomsticks and other stuff? No.
No, I always did want to be a cop, but it kind of shattered the dream once I saw what it was really about. But, well, gentlemen, it is 1 a.m. my time, I think, and I got to go to work in the morning.
Man,
we completely understand.
How dare you have a job? Go collect food stamps, slave.
I thought you were on the West Coast, man. I thought you were on the same time as me.
Man, it's 1 a.m.
Virginia, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Virginia.
Yep, Richmond, yep.
You did tell me that.
It's
where
I'm at.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Hey, why don't you guys give Eli
some love, some likes, some clicks.
Yeah. Well, what's your channel name, Eli?
It's just Renegade Rant. So you can check it out on YouTube or Eli Jones Rant on Twitter, or any of those things will get me.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. Well,
so everybody,
it was really nice talking to you, Eli. I think we've talked a lot about great issues tonight. We should definitely do it again.
Yeah, I'd love to be back. Yep.
Hey, well, check it out. We try to put out these live shows on Saturdays. Man, I think we went 4 hours, you guys. That's amazing and awesome and incredible. That's how we do it here at themediaspeaks.com. Tune in on Saturday. We're trying to hook up with Sam at The Correct Views. Maybe we can get Eli Jones of Renegade Rant back on. Thanks to Kyle Phillips, the Grand Poobah of The Media Speaks, who was our technical guy tonight, putting all those videos on, and we had a great time. And Anthony Court, let's get your closing comments. And I'm being up to Trent. We had a great time. And why don't you guys wrap it up?
Well, we have a hard 4 years ahead of us. We need to stick together like we're doing here, unite on information, really spread the word about the corruption and control of our government and what where we're headed. And I appreciate the opportunity to participate in this election coverage with you guys together to really bring that knowledge to the table. So thank you for your time, and thanks for everyone who actually tuned into this. So.
Eli, I'll let you go next so that you can get going since it's pretty late for you. I'm at least in the Midwest. It's midnight for me.
Well, I just think I agree. We're in for a tough 4 years. We've got to stick it out. Patriots need to rise up, stick together, take back this country. Liberty must rise again, or we face a very bleak future for the next generation.